Hey there, welcome to the show, where we're bringing you the latest, don't you know? We're the hosts that you've been waiting for. Chieftain, Hero, Blacklight, Oni, and Soda Pop TV.
Wait a second.
Bringing you the hottest news without a doubt. From internet trends to the games we adore. All the movie buzz and so much more. We'll keep you up
all night. Like Viagra?
From the news trailers to the memes. Gotta keep it real, gotta keep it fresh.
Laggin out is the best, no contest. That was from the Great Gazoo. He gave us the rights to that. We appreciate that, Great Gazoo, and happy belated 4th of July to us. Yay! Happy Independence Day to us treasonous bastards. Remember, it's only treason if you lose. Welcome to Lagging Out Live. Yes. Cheez-Its. As you can see, big news. We have big news. We have the Mariner here today. He's coming in and hanging out with us. We know he's a very busy man. And also big news, Soda will be back next week. So a little bit of braincation, let's just say. And that way he'll be nice and fresh. He'll be rebooting his hard drive and coming back into the virtual reality world and coming back to join us. This is going to be a little bit more of a chill stream this week, since it is a day after the 4th of July. And not all of us drink here, but I'm sure a lot of the viewers do. So big shout out to... Oh, got a cameo? I love you. I love you, but get out. Nothing in there to reboot? Yeah, there is. Like, you gotta switch out your flash drive. You're all good to go. So, shout out to Soda. He is in the chat, so you guys can be talking with him in the chat. Badger's there as well. Oh, can't hear anyone. Oh, okay, that's because I clicked the button and it didn't turn on. There we go. Now you can probably hear everybody.
Yay!
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know why it didn't go on. I clicked it and
Restart the show and rerun the intro music.
Edit, undo, redo.
Fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. No, fuck you guys. But
we're live. There's no post.
I said hello to Great Gazoo. I didn't get to say hello to Rogue Penguin. Rogue Penguin, we said we're gonna do like a workout hangout, so we got to do that when my hip stops hurting. My hip is. I ran too much this week. I ran 8 miles this week, and not 8 miles in Detroit, but interval training. Interval training, low impact, but still hurt.
How old are your shoes?
I know I got new shoes. You're right. yeah, I know. I that's the first thing I check. But the thing is like I have a really narrow gait, so if I go too wide on my gait and I'm like doing the stair stepper,
you're gonna hurt yourself.
I think my form. I almost passed out when I came home.
Oh goodness gracious!
And it's like, are you okay? They're like your face is all red. I was like. He's like, you're gonna have a heart attack. I go, good, then I don't have to do cardio anymore. So that's what I said. But it's been a rough day. I had to take my mom to the ER today. She's okay.
Okay.
She sprained a muscle in her rib or something like that.
Oh goodness gracious!
So every time she breathes, it like hurts and she's wincing in pain. So I had to drive her there, drive her back. It was a whole day thing today. That was the. So it's not one thing, it's another.
I'd like to do a shout out to one of our Rumble viewers. Hello, yes. Nessiel. Thank you for coming by.
Hi, Nessiel.
Japanese native, by the way.
Oh, nice. How did you find us, by the way? Thank you for joining us on Rumble. And that is a great segue, Mr. Hero. Yeah, you can check us out on Rumble. You can check us out on Twitch. And there's usually one person every 6 months on Kick. And am I revealing anything if we're going to try to do like a test broadcast on TikTok pretty soon? We're going to test that or like what gym, Anytime Fitness, Rogue. And I'll if you come up here, I'll pay for your day pass. It's like $50. I'll just pay for it. So if you want me to go down there, it's fine. I'll pay for it. I'm paying for it either way. So I don't want to take money out of your pocket. So
Nessie's reply is, howdy, I found you all through Hero. Yeah.
Of course. Hero is a great networker of peoples. Oh, you have Anytime Fitness as well. That's fucking sweet. Rogue, it's destiny. Penguin, it is so destiny for us to hang out, and then you can make me look bad in the gym. She's looking amazing. She looked amazing before. She didn't have to lose any weight, in my opinion, but she looks like a superhero from, I've been watching The Boys. Like, she could be like...
So she's getting toned. Like,
she's fucking wrecking it, Oni. She's destroying it. Like, she could probably bench press me. She's like a beast. She's like beast mode. So, but yeah, God bless her for doing that. 171 to 144. Ooh, what the fuck? Is good. That is fucking amazing. And I'm not even trying to do the math because I don't math well, but I could put my calculator up, but you'll probably tell me before I
That's 33 pounds.
33 pounds. Thank you so much, Mariner. 30, that's like a 3-year-old, you know, or a 4-year-old or something. I don't know. I don't have kids. I can't really make it accurate.
Badger and I were like 50 pounds when we were like, what?
No,
5?
I'm sorry. That's 20. Sorry, my brain just went off. Like, no, you're thinking backwards, Mariner.
Well,
with the check your math.
27.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have imperial math down here. In Canada, it comes out to something different. So.
I went 73 minus 40, 74 minus 44 is 30, and then I went the wrong direction with the remainder.
Math started April 8th, so it was it wasn't fast weight loss.
No,
I'm gonna try I'm gonna try one of those GL1 shots, either trizipatide or Wegovy. The Wegovy's for a lot of weight loss. Thank you, Penguin. Thank you, Penguin. I love Penguin. She's the best. And I love the fact when we stream, she's like, I suck. I'm like, hold my beer. Like, I'm worse than you. Don't worry about it. When we play COD, so it's okay. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Good for you. Steady weight loss. But I want to try either the trizipatide with his E-bound or something like that. Like it's just I just make it underneath. I want to lose 21 pounds. I want to get to 185. That's when I feel my best at 185. They say that's too thin. I'm like, for me, that feels good. I just dieted chicken and salad and fish. Don't crash diet, Penguin. Don't just don't crash diet. Like when you hit your weight, the toughest thing is to keep it off. So modify your diet after that, so that way you don't lose any more gain. Just like you might have to calorie count there a little bit, but I mean, take it from someone who knows. But yeah.
How you doing, Mr. J? Is this for your little stream?
Yes, it is, Harley.
Okay.
Thanks.
Attention, and that means you in the back.
Us in the back.
The preceding content is intended for mature audiences only.
We're not mature.
Opinions and views expressed on this live are not necessarily those of Laggin Entertainment, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or any of its sponsors or advertisers.
Or your mother.
That means we ain't liable. If you're under 18, get the fuck out.
Why, thank you, Harley.
I wonder where that B-man is.
Harley. So yeah, there we go. There's our PSA brought to you by Harley Quinn. Well, not officially Harley Quinn. I don't want to get blanked out by DC because that'll be just another fucking place that will take our 3 cents on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. But wait, hold on. There we go. Not pause. Go down one message. Go down one message. There we go. Baby Shark. What's the matter with you, Baby Shark?
Here we go again. Check
your sister. No, I'm just kidding. Badger took her happy pills today. I think she's in a really good mood. happy, joy. But yeah, thank you for the sub. And you don't have to sub to us, but we'd greatly appreciate it because we want to do this for a living. So, but if you can't afford it in this economy, because an apple costs like $3.50, you can support us for free by giving us a shout out, following our stream, telling a friend, engaging in their posts, and rooting for us, and maybe giving us ideas for meta tags on certain things. That would be awesome. Thank you, Rogue Penguin 93 with the 15 bits. We appreciate you. Rogue Penguin 15 bits, brought to you by Raid Saddle Legends. Here's our cool QR code. It's not queer. It's a QR code. There we go. Is Hero light? What is that? Is Hero
that number of colors it ought to be?
That's a great question. Oni has a question for you in the chat, Hero. Is Hero lighting himself on fire in honor of America and his birthday? Because it was his birthday yesterday. Born on the 4th of July. He has just turned 21 for the 9th straight year. So, happy birthday to Hero. If you want to get him a birthday cake with a little army guy on there, like a G.I. Joe character, like Sergeant Slaughter or something, he doesn't like gifts, so just give me the gifts instead. I do take cash and Amazon gift cards.
I like presents my own self.
Watch it. If I decide to shave one day, I'll turn 19 again.
That is not you know what I said, a queef code? This is not your stream, Penguin. That's when I dropped the queef names there. A queef code. No, it wasn't a queef code. That's later. No, I'm just kidding. We also want to thank our Nitro members in our Discord, which gives us the ability to play games and stuff, but it's been like a wasteland the last week and a half in our video chat, but hopefully we'll turn that around and people will come back. I've just been very tired lately because I'm old, but you can check us out. You can thank Soda Pop, Hypernova, The Mariner, Ezreal, Stormwolf Song, Prophet, Cheer and Death, and Mirror and Soul. Thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Yep. Yeah.
And wow, an Undertale trivia question. So, this week's trivia question goes as follows. And we ask you guys, don't use your phones. Don't go to Google. Because then you just ruin the fun for everybody. It's kind of like Elf on the Shelf. It just ruins it for everybody.
You're right.
Are we getting double? Oh, that's... Okay, it's music. Okay, it's... Oh, okay, I see what's going on. Usually the music hits on my track. Now it's hitting on you guys' track on my Streamlabs. So I'm like, what the fuck is that about?
Oh, right. Lord.
That's okay. It's working. It doesn't matter. In Undertale, what did... Oh, shit. Kara eat that killed them.
Is it Chara?
Is it Chara or Kara?
I've heard both.
Okay.
Sometimes it's pronounced Chara as is, or Kara because character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's either one works.
I don't even know what Undertale is.
It was an indie game that was popular in 2015 by Toby Fox that got really popular and basically was one of the games that kickstarted the indie game movement after Minecraft, along with Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
You want to see how we can annoy Soda and drive him fucking crazy?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Soda, look, there's an extra space between eat and that. That'll drive him crazy for about 5 minutes. Oh my god! He'll go fucking nuts. He goes like, don't do it. There's an extra space there. I just wanted too late. So A, buttercup flowers. B, butterscotch pie. That sounds so gross. Or C, spider donuts. Oh wow. Soda just gifted Great Gazoo with a sub.
Actually, technically gifted Rogue Penguin with one too earlier.
Oh, he did. Oh, that was him as well. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you for that.
I didn't see it when it happened, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Balls, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is balls. Next week is gonna be like balls, testicles. That's what she said, and that's racist. We'll be marking things and we're doing shots for that. Thanks for the gift sub. Woohoo! Just give Gazoo an excuse to drink a beer. Thanks, Soda.
Okay.
Dang, I do wish Badger had told me about the Undertale question because I still have a wig that's brunette.
Oh.
And I have a sweater that I made in their style, and I have eyeshadow that is pink enough.
Yeah.
I look shockingly like the character. I might still have a photo of it somewhere.
Hello, Nova. Welcome to the show.
Actually, I wonder if I do. I'll put it in the Discord if I find it.
I should do this to Soda. I should do this to Nova.
Hey there, welcome to the show.
Why am I opening every fucking episode I want? Damn.
So this is going to be more of a chill type of show. It's not going to be very well, like, perfectly constructed like all our other shows are, with no problems or errors happening with our edits or crashing and stuff. This is going to be very chill. It's not going to be like these like oiled machines like we always have our shows. So we're going to be just talking about random topics, and I'm going to fight my migraine really hard, my headache, and we're going to we are here to entertain you. We are the dancing monkeys. So guess which character is the girl? And Nova goes, your mom. What are you, 12?
Oh, Lord.
What time is it on Saturday there? They're like 11 hours ahead of us. So let's see. Is it 9:30 in the morning there?
Yeah. So,
but yeah.
To kick things off, this is an immediate angry topic for me, but I'm going to keep it tame. So, InfoCom happens to be one of the largest e-trading companies that distribute anime and manga in Japan. And to put it mildly, the Japanese online manga and anime market is estimated to be valued around $3 billion.
That's it?
And Blackstone
racist
is a Western company that put in an offer for $1.7 billion to purchase said company. Now, if anybody recognizes Blackstone, or even the other company that came from the same origin, BlackRock.
Rock, right?
They are both companies.
I want to rock!
They are both companies that are spearheading the DEI efforts in most media companies these days. Most companies in the world right now. They're
covering both ends against the middle. They're dealing with guns and giving guns to Ukraine, and then also doing DEI shit. Like, they're playing both ends against the middle here, Hero.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We need to make fucking money, and we're gonna do it with war and peace. I'm like, thank you, Tony Stark, motherfuckers. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just trying to add humor to this.
This is terrible, in my opinion.
It is.
I grew up loving anime and manga. I spent 8 years of my life in Japan in my most formative years because my dad.
You should make a company called White Pebble and do the opposite of what they do.
Well, there is hope. There are companies out there that are starting a new mantra, if you will, called MEI, and it's based off meritocracy. Merit.
Yay, I like a meritocracy.
The saying is merit, excellence, and intelligence. And
who came up with that?
I don't know who
Elon Musk
came up with it, but Elon
Musk came up with it. Gazoo's best friend.
He's valuing it, or he retweeted it, or something.
Yeah.
It's a new thing, and all the media outlets are losing their minds over it because he retweeted it.
Yeah, he's like a fucking troll. He's just like, I'm gonna trigger the whole world today and write something on X.
I'm gonna trigger the whole world and watch stocks go up.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna buy it before I say it, and then when it's high, I'm gonna sell it and make more money and buy Facebook.
Now you understand. Now you understand how crypto markets tend to go.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I gotta say this whole situation is and actually I asked before the topic came up. I asked Nessiel, since she is our Japan native over on.
Yay. We love Japan.
I asked her this specific question. Our first topic is just for you, Nessie. How do you feel about InfoCom being bought out by DEI, the company, aka Blackstone? Her response. Also,
Okay.
I had no clue that
Live on Rumble, by the way.
Also, I had no clue this had happened, but it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable knowing that Western companies are starting to buy out Japanese media companies.
Yeah. If you're in Japan, I that's an honest gripe because we have that issue with China buying farmland.
I was going to say
defense installation. So we understand that.
farms,
Yeah.
farmland,
You know how you
anything
fix that?
above a hectare.
You know how you fix that, Mariner? Instill an eminent domain and take the land away from China. Problem solved. Chieftain for Secretary of the Interior. Yes, I think that's what they do, right?
I
don't
mean, maybe.
I don't know. It could be agriculture too.
The other thing is, kind of, I would say, adjacent to this is there is a current change.org petition out there made by somebody from Japan, typed in Japanese, that is basically trying to get this petition to with as many signatures as possible, with Japanese individuals signing it, basically saying, stop the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Wow.
And it's already got 50,000 signatures.
Fucking
Ahoy,
stupid.
Mojo!
Mojo! Oh my God, Mojo! I haven't seen you forever. How are you?
Moho. What?
Who doesn't love Mojo? I mean, awesome.
Hey.
Everybody play
Did
nice
ever-
in the chat.
Is anyone watching my stream on Wednesday night where Mojo and I were playing Baldur's Gate 3? And it was
No.
a typical night of restarting the fight, and Gazoo made us a song about it.
Oh, nice.
I believe it's on the Laggin Out Discord under music.
Can you do me a solid, Mr. Mariner, sir? Can you grab that link for me and put it in the Zoom chat? I'd like to play
Sure,
it for him. To give him a little shout out for his YouTube channel.
Give me just a second. You gotta call
Yeah,
it up
you
on
know,
the
it's
right
no
screen
hurry.
here.
No hurry.
Okay.
I know
okay.
I've been asking a lot from you guys today. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You just saw me last Friday, Chieftain. Yes, you did.
Easy.
Yeah, but I got the
Oh.
memory of Dory. Mojo, you keep
Actually, it's an MP3,
Oh.
Chieftain, so you'll have to download it.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Like my PSA was a Mojo was an MP3. You'll have to download. Hint, hint.
Wow,
Okay.
Oni, that is shockingly like the character. That is shockingly well done.
Thank you. That's what happens when you just kind of look the part and you have a natural wig.
Mm.
Wig was like $50 7 years ago at this point now.
So it's like 80 now.
Would you
Who
mind if I
knows?
dropped that in the Zoom chat?
Can I say something about your cosplays, Onis?
Sure.
I mean, you talk about like lemons and lemonade. Like you can turn anything into a great cosplay. It's just amazing to me. It's like a big
You
shout out
try
to you. Like you do a
something
great job with that shit. I don't know.
Thank
I appreciate skill that I can't do, and I think it's amazing that you can do that.
Thank you. Would you like to see a really different one then? I can share it with Hero directly in case you guys
Yeah,
don't
sure.
like it.
Oh, that's cool. If I'm allowed to post it, yeah. That looks. It doesn't even look like you. Hold on. Let me put it on the. Let me go to my 4-shot here and see if I can.
Oh yeah, you have shown that one before. I love that one.
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's take a look at that. It doesn't even. It's. I don't know how to say this without. Very.
It's almost like if I had a nice bubbly personality.
Yes. That's it.
You
Yeah,
look like
I was
a very
confused because you were
effeminate girl
smiling.
in this photo, I guess. Very effeminate, like over.
Yeah, just remember, that kid goes on to be a serial killer, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that
smile.
one.
I understand the smile now. I was confused by that earlier because I'm like,
That
he doesn't smile.
depends on the path that that you choose in the game.
no.
I'm going to
Chara
kill your
becomes
fucking
the serial
family.
killer. Frisk
Oh,
doesn't necessarily have to accept
Yeah,
Char,
I-
but
I'm going to kill your family.
that's the difference.
And there's that other one. If you don't mind, I'm sorry.
Sure.
How dare you? Oh, this is the one.
I
That's
think I've
the one
seen
I
this
was
one.
immediately thinking about. There, yeah. Totally looks
We
like
had
a
this
dude there.
one. We had
Totally
this
looks like a dude.
discussion a few months back because of the topic and the slide by Badger.
Very nice.
It was like my last day at work, so I'm like, hey, can I show up in costume? What are you gonna do? Fire me? So
It's like she could have been with Jennifer Garner in Alias. Like she can change her look like on a whim.
see, that's the thing some people don't quite realize is, okay, I don't wear makeup except for costumes, so
Right.
everything I do is for the illusion of things. And there's a way to apply makeup, whether it's close up, like super close up, far away, and then like super far away. That's why theatrical makeup looks really weird up close.
Right.
And why drag is done the way it is. But
Remind me that character's name, by the way.
Aizawa,
Yeah.
also known as Eraserhead. Yeah, the one that Badger, the one Badger's favorite character is best friends with. She, as she calls him, her favorite character is Present Mike, whom she calls Mr. Screamy Man, who is basically like Badger. Just loud, bubbly, loud, kind of not really taken seriously all the time.
that's
Really powerful,
close.
but
Do it
adorable.
side by side.
I knew you were gonna ask me to fucking.
This
do
is
that.
before he loses an eye, a foot, and a lot of
He had
his sanity.
diabetes.
What?
He loses a foot. He's diabetic.
No, he cut it off because he got shot by a bullet that would circulate through the body and eliminate your quirk permanently. So he got shot in the leg, in the lower leg, and he cut it off.
Yeah, that's really close.
Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
I'm a cool present, Mike. Good lord.
I tried to put the link on the private chat, Chieftain. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Oh yeah. I got it already.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the side by side. Thank you.
No, I'm talking above the picture. There's a link. That I put
yeah.
into the song.
Oh. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I completely missed that when you posted that.
Yeah, I completely. Oh, okay. It's the download.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Fun.
This is Kazoo's.
Mojo and Malin are at Baldur's Gate. Enemies tremble, they know their fate. Casting spells and swinging swords in a world where magic roars. When the fight gets tough, they don't back down. With a shimmer and a flash, they're back around. The greatest weapon, a trusty click. Reload button, it's their magic trick. Ooh, reload, the story remains untold.
It's a shanty. It really is.
Reload the game. Every battle feels the same.
Every battle seems the same. It's like a Weird Al
In the
song.
heat of battle, when hope seems
Weird Al
dim, we
shanty.
laugh and we can begin again. Through the chaos, they stand tall, reload, and they'll never fall. When the goblins and the trolls attack, they hit reload and they
Why are you doing it on the upbeat? Or the downbeat? You should be doing it on the upbeat. That's how it goes. Golly!
Reload, the story remains
Oh, jeez.
untold.
By the way, Messiel says in Rumble, this reminds me Comic-Con is coming soon. Hella excited to see any Telhu news.
Oh, when the fight gets tough, they don't back down. With a shimmer and a flash, they're back around. Their greatest weapon, a trusty click. Reload button, it's their magic trick. Ooh, reload, the story remains untold. Bojo and Mariner load the game. Every battle feels the same.
Mario Music Maker.
It's the 8-bit trumpets, okay?
It is. So, in case you didn't hear me, I'm sorry, I was over talking the music there.
How dare you?
Nessiel
worse
is
about a
talking
movie
about Comiket, one of the local conventions in Japan. And she's hella excited, and she's excited to see some Toho news, which is
I was gonna ask just that because their new game should be coming out.
yep.
Did you just say hella excited? Who
Yes,
are
she
you?
did.
No.
Oh, okay. She did. I was gonna say you're not allowed. Hella excited. Who's like, who are you? A hollaback girl? Ooh, check
Yeah,
that
show
out. That's if it doesn't go green. Yep. It's the lagging out 18-hour cooler glass thing I got.
I didn't have any
for
ice for it today, so it's just plain water.
It's fat free though, right?
It's lukewarm.
It's lukewarm.
Yes.
It's not Darth Vader hot.
Oh, jeez.
Nope. It's also not Luke Skywalker. Chill.
Jake Skywalker, who?
I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where that joke was going.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Is it vegan
It's
water?
vegan
Oh,
water.
God.
Yeah, it is vegan water.
There
It
we
is-
go.
It's fat free.
For soda's benefit.
Oh, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. He's with us in spirit. It'll rot your teeth out.
We might
Like,
have a
right.
new Mariner Kitty cameo here in a minute.
I got my tea latte.
Got the.
You
What is
fucking
everybody
know.
drinking? What is everybody
Got this
drinking
shit
tonight?
back up.
There we go.
And I have
Zun has been building hype with teasers on Twitter, so hopefully it hasn't been delayed.
Melon what?
Melon milk.
Melon milk. There's a joke there. I ain't touching it.
It's an Asian thing. Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
Don't
like
touch
it.
that.
Yeah, I figured it was
No,
an
no,
Asian
no,
thing.
no, no. Donna,
They
don't
also
touch
like
that. No.
Banana. Be like strawberry. I like the melon.
Banana.
because I don't
Banana.
want to drink banana stuff.
Banana, banana. Don't forget to watch me on Minions 4. Banana, banana. Banana, banana. Is that better? Banana, banana.
There you go.
Yahoo! Speak
So
My-
Nessiel
my-
has mentioned that Zun has been building hype with Twitter with teasers, and hopefully it hasn't been delayed.
Where are you reading this?
Rumble.
Ah, cool. Check us out on Rumble. Our thumbnail comes 2 days later because Chieftain is lazy and he'll always like, where is the thumbnail? It's Thursday. Where is our Friday thumbnail for our Rumble? He
To be
says.
fair, I completely forgot to do it until this afternoon today. So last
Chieftain-
week's live didn't have a thumbnail for the longest time.
With Chieftain's super slacky when he does it on Sunday because he's got to teach for 6 straight hours on a Saturday afternoon. He's got to deal with kids with bouncing balls and walk cycles for 6 hours. $60 a class. So I can't say no. I'm not a fan of working on Saturdays. Saturday is where I like to sleep in. No newspaper come that day. I sleep till 10 o'clock. I'm good. And this is my German accent. I've been working on it for a while, and this is what I come up with. Is good? Yeah?
You're almost there.
Almost there.
Wait, which accent are you trying to mimic?
I'm trying to do a German accent.
Oh God, it's a mess.
Yours
of an
sounds
accent.
almost like a bastardized version between French and German.
You should kiss my ass. This is good German accent.
9 is not
Stop,
good.
stop being a Wiener Schnitzel. Don't be a Wiener Schnitzel.
I'm not the one trying to sound German, but also sounding French in some bastardized version.
You sound like a god.
Machine.
You don't sound French. You sound like a
Soldier says,
dying
I hate
god.
this.
Who said? This is
Which
not for
version
your,
of German accent?
This is for my amusement, Magma, not yours.
Horrible. So let's kick out the next topic.
All right. The next check us out on TikTok.
Unless anybody else has commentary on that, we kind of went over it, but then we
went to Blackstone, but a fuck up accent with French accent and German accent.
The Mariner Kitty.
If they fuck.
The Elder.
This is Mariner Kitty the Elder. Who doesn't like looking at the camera, apparently. There we go.
He disappeared.
Meow, meow, meow.
My German side is bleeding. By the way, I disclosed.
That's a real gas. You get it? It's a real gas.
Netiel Oni that you happen to be half Japanese, and her response is, "I see. Oni is my people."
Yes, Oni is your people's. What time is it in Japan right now?
Well, that's a good question.
What time is it in Japan right now?
9:46 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan.
It's a 9:45 in Tokyo.
It's fine. She don't sleep.
Sleep is for the week.
You sleep when you're dead.
So, Mariner, do you have any commentary on this before we jump to the next topic?
Well, I was looking at the article and there's reasons to think there might be hope because their plan is to use this as a vehicle to publish their own stuff. But 10% of the only 10% of what is sold on this I can't think of the word, digital distribution, whatever, is actually new content. So a lot, unless they push other people's stuff out, I don't think we have that big of a concern, but I could be proven wrong. There it is. Original content brings in about 10% of revenue of the platform. So we will see what we will see.
And to answer your question, Mojo, the platform happens to be, well, the company is InfoCom, and the platform is one of the digital distribution sites in Japan for manga and anime.
The other thing that's not explained is how popular
That's your digital right?
digital media is in Japan versus hard copies. So,
we can get insight from Nessiel on that one if she is able to answer that one. Let me message it since she's on a delay from us.
Delays.
It is delayed in Japan because it goes to the satellite and then comes back down. It takes some time to get into their little satellites in Japan.
While we're waiting for her answer,
don't lose face. Never lose face in Japan.
Hey, Turn Death.
It's Tryron Death. What's up, Tryron Death? He submitted a tier 1. They subscribed for 19 months. That's 2 babies worth.
How have I been subscribing to you guys longer than Tyrant Death?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I have to go look it up.
2.5 years at least with you. It's like what, 33 months?
I hit 22 months in June. So,
do you have the gold? Do you have the gold lagging out coin in the chat?
I've
what do you
got
have?
a
The
couple
shield.
Different coins. I have the shield going right now.
Yeah, the shield is the hardest. I think it's one of the hardest to get.
Wouldn't be
I think
surprised.
that's the shield.
Yeah, I want to do a different shield and like put it on a blue T-shirt so it looks like a Superman thing.
Nessiel's response to the question asked, I would say that digital is definitely much more popular than physical unless there's some sort of promotion involved, in which we will buy one copy to keep in the plastic and wrapping, and then we will buy another copy to lend to friends.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I was always on the board of physical copies with, I think me and Oni kept on it. We agree on that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I just
Okay.
want something tangible, you know. Otherwise, they pull that bullshit like what we had a few months ago, where like, oh, you can't play the game anymore because we're taking down the server. I'm like, I paid for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that was like a whole thing. It's like a valid point, right?
Oh yeah.
So this could be this could become a bigger thing than I was
Could
thinking
be.
it could be. Yeah. It depends on what they do with it, honestly.
Yeah, and I just don't have a whole lot of faith in them as being good stewards of the
Hello,
properties
Winry.
or anything.
Welcome.
Hey there,
We
Winry.
just became friends on Discord yesterday.
So Oni, what was your thought on this particular topic before we jump on to the next one?
You're trying to impose rules on a country that doesn't fucking abide by your rules. If you
Right.
don't understand the culture of what you're trying to control, that's on you. It's foolish. Japan, for better or worse, has been very conservative in things to an extent that is bad because let's just say their native populations, when I say native, I mean like Ainu. I mean if the Amishi were still around that we can identify, they would count too, and I'm sure there are a couple of smaller pockets. We're not really given citizenship status of Japan until like the 90s. And the Ainu had been there since like before Japan was Japan. Okay.
Oh wow.
They're still very much against tattoos because they're seen as dirty. A lot of this goes back to Shintoism, which has a thing about cleanliness, but also because there's a huge culture of tattoos amongst the Yakuza, who are still very much around and doing very well in business. So if you have tattoos, they won't let you in certain establishments. They won't let you go into most, if not 99% of hot springs. If you don't look the part or you don't look Japanese, they may not let you in certain clubs. And this is also in other parts of Asia as well. Okay. Homosexuality was still, let's just say it's still kind of hush hush in most places for them. But that's
gay.
their culture. You're trying to impose your ideals on a people who did not ask for your fucking input. So that's a really, really great start. You know, if you want to start burning down everything. I assume that this will probably mean great business for everybody else. But yeah, no. That's it's unfortunate because part of what makes a lot of these manga great is the fact that it's got that flavor of Japan. Regardless of what we think and feel, it's because it's different that we like it. Okay, for better and for worse. So by saying no, you must abide by our standards, it's like then why did you buy us? But then again, why did you accept the offer? So
They haven't accepted it yet. The company has openly said that there are other interested parties with offers on the table. However, this is the one that's gaining the most attention.
This will not end well. If you
And
want to sink your company, let Blackstone buy you. Don't fucking do it.
We have a real life news break here. This is not really our cup of tea, but Joe Biden's reportedly having a medical emergency on Air Force One right now. That's all I know. It's of an hour ago, just to keep you guys updated. But go ahead, Oni. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. If you want to sink your company, let Blackstone buy you. And maybe this isn't my place to say, Japan, you literally just got your military back from having us be your military. Please do not side with someone who has military interests that are paid militia, paid contractors. It probably won't. I'm sorry?
Mercenaries.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it.
Probably won't end well, okay? Don't do it. You, I almost don't care who else is looking to buy you. I don't care if they're offering less money. Look at the values. If the values do not align, this will not end well. And then everyone will be out of a job. So
Yeah. Well, as far as this goes, I'm probably going a little too far into detail, but it starts with minor censorship. What they do is they start with existing properties and then they start making alterations based on their values. I mean, there's a lot of manga and anime out there, especially in Japan. I mean, who knew? It's Japanese entertainment. Of course there would be. So it's going to start with the small things, and the response to it is going to be outrage from the people who are purists. And then the people that are on board with these ideals are going to be like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a small change. It's just something for propriety. It's just, it's only proper. And then it's going to start nickel and diming until you can't do this genre at all. And next thing you know, when they're producing their original content, it's not going to line up. It's going to be something stupid like High Guardian and Spice. We all saw how that worked out.
I had a great night until you mentioned that.
But anyways, Chieftain, if you have any opinions on it.
I already did. I already exercised my opinions on that, making fun of them the whole time and how fucking stupid that Blackstone and BlackRock are. Like, it's the biggest fucking hypocritical thing ever. Like, so basically, a smaller company, like, they're just trying to control smaller companies by just flexing their muscles. That's my problem. But
I would argue that they're not exactly small. They're an investment firm, and they command
not Blackstone itself. Other companies that are seeking their funds.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's
not Blackstone themselves.
You're right.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. I said there's always strings attached to the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no such thing as a free lunch, as they say. But yeah, I'm sorry for not being more clear there, Hero. That's my bad on my side for not being as articulate as I'm usually am. Because
you're fine.
I don't know. I feel like I'm really focused right now. I don't know why. But yeah, like Blackstone and BlackRock are split off of the same company, and I always find that, like, wait, you're doing DI, but you're giving guns to Ukraine. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Yeah. Mariner, did you say your piece? I know you're throwing around your cat around. He just throws around that pussy on Friday nights, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Just throws it around like he owns it. All right. But anyways, go ahead.
I think I said what I wanted to say on that subject.
I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
I'm notorious for being out of the loop on a lot of the topics. So
no, it's okay. Like, I'm out of the loop with a lot of the topics. You're in good company, sir.
So if you like our show, enjoy our funny ass clips on TikTok.
When Chieftain like starts posting them again, and he has like 5 minutes to himself, it'll be amazing. We're also trying to do a live on there. I might go on lives on there, talk about video games and everything. So, not on TikTok. Yeah, we'll be going on lives on my TikTok until we get 1,000 views on ours. So make sure you follow us on TikTok so we can get the 1,000 views and go live on there, and we don't have to use mine. Yay! You don't want to go on mine because I told someone to shut the fuck up and to stop talking over me. And then he left. He's like, does this guy know who the fuck I am? I'm the chieftain, bitch. I went like that. There was like 300 people in the room. It's like, this guy didn't fucking take the lessons. It's like, you haven't watched my lives, motherfucker? You don't talk over me, bitch. He was like trying to like dumb. It's like, this is not your life. This is not my life. Respect the host. You need to shut the fuck up. But I don't do that on ours. These are the funniest fucking gifs ever, dude. It's so fucking funny. I don't even know what this is about. This is funny.
I am ashamed of you.
Then the winged hussars arrived. I know.
Hussar!
Hussar?
Don't piss off the historical buff.
Hussar! What the fuck, Chieftain, you idiot?
We literally talked about. Shut the fuck up, Magma. We literally talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
When Larian Studios opened their Warsaw office studio, and it had a winged hussar as the logo. Badger, stop. This is the band, namely, the lead singer, the frontman. I think his name is pronounced Joachim. Don't quote me on that. He's Swedish. I don't speak fucking Swedish.
Yeah, he's Swedish.
No, not even fucking close. Anyways.
That is very. You will make fun of every one of my freaking accents, and everyone else.
Because it's wrong,
loves
because
it.
I've heard this guy talk.
Okay.
He
Yeah, this
sounds
guy's
actually-
Scottish. He's not.
Everybody
Armenian.
hates me today.
I never fucking said that.
You hate me. Just say it. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead, Odie. You're good, Odie. Go ahead. So what about him?
I put the link in the chat earlier. Basically they're turning 25 this year. They're currently, last I checked, they're signed on with Napalm Records still. They have a couple board games. They did a digital museum essentially for World War I and history in general,
Okay.
which did really well. They're a metal band, sometimes considered power metal, and
Okay.
they focus mostly on history. And they came out for their 20th anniversary with basically a competition or a chance to enter a raffle for some really nice vinyl records and some cool memorabilia for their 25th anniversary by making a video game. Because I can't stop Sabaton. They're the ones who put tanks on stages. Look, if you have some crying you need to let out and you need some emotions and you want to see a band that does really great music videos, Christmas Truce was fucking phenomenal. Their music video for Bismarck was also really good. Their music
Pillars
video
of,
for
Pillars is part of the name. I'm blanking out on it right now.
7 Pillars of Wisdom.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's good.
that's-
Keep it to Oni. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's about Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
Fantastic album, by the way. They also had a great music video in honor of Sweden's 500th anniversary of their military, and they all wore the traditional Swedish uniform, which was boss. But Christmas Truce was absolutely sensational, especially because the main theme is essentially the notes of Carol of the Bells. All their music is fantastic. There's always something great. Okay. So they started really with World War II history. Then they started branching out a little bit more in their last couple of albums with World War I history, things just in general of history, Swedish history, obviously. Kind of got to, especially their whole album Carolus Rex was based on really the guy the guy of Sweden. I do not recall his name. I am so sorry. Then they had an album called Heroes, which covered more specific men and women in history. One of their songs was called Night Witches. This got really popular because they started doing partnerships with this digital animation company or group who would animate these stories, and the Night Witches were a unit of Soviet women who would do night raids on World War I German areas. They were given old planes. No. Had to have been World War II because it was Soviet. Duh. Sorry. And basically what happened was, I just said it was called Yarn Hub. Basically what happened was these women were given old planes. They were given old men's uniforms. They were made fun of because, it's Soviet Union. They're sexist as fuck. But these women are becoming machine gunners, becoming bombers. And with their old planes, they weren't fat. And the thing is, they earned the name Nachthatzen, night witches. And unfortunately, they did suffer several severe losses. But their leader, after the war, did survive, and she actually went and found every place where her ladies had fallen, and she put a marker there. What really pissed me off about that, though, was that when World War II ended and they started having all their celebratory parades, none of the night witches were allowed to fly in any of them because their planes were too slow.
Wow.
It was fucking bullshit. You want to know another story that really pisses me off?
Every story ever?
No. No,
Okay.
because Resistant Bite is fucking badass. Resistant Bite is about a Belgian unit that did not receive, it's not that they were necessarily given, but they had never received the order to retreat. So they were going off of the last order they heard, which was
I heard
delay the
about
Nazis
this.
as long as possible. There were 40 men at the time. By the time the Nazis captured them, there might have been a dozen left. And then, of course, they were tortured and killed. But they staved off the Nazis for more than 2 weeks, to the point where when they were captured because they had no supplies, Belgium was falling. The Nazis were like, "Where are the rest of you?" And they're like, "It's us. It's literally us." And then laughed in their faces. And their symbol is a boar. So they're fucking badass in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the story of I'm gonna butcher his name because I'm not Polish. We told Pilecki, inmate 4859, who was a World War I veteran, and decided after hearing the reports of shit going down in a really horrible place called Auschwitz, decided, I'm going to go into Auschwitz. And he stayed for 2 years as a spy, pretending to be a prisoner, sneaking documents out to try to prove to the world what was going on. Eventually decides to break out as Auschwitz is liberated, helps with the Polish uprising going on, and then after World War II ends, Poland is taken as the spoils of war by the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union decides to fucking execute him
Oh shit.
for saving his people, doing what he could, because, my theory, without reading anything into it, can't have freedom fighters in the Soviet Union. That would ruin the communist utopia. Can't have that. No. Can't have freedom fighters. Can't have people who
Wouldn't be
believe in that.
prudent at this juncture.
So that really pisses me off because he did everything right. And he was still executed by his own people because Soviet higher-ups said to do it.
Ugh.
But they told his
That
story.
is horrible.
They told, I'll tell you how I got our Badger and I's dad into Sabaton. Because they had a song called Blood of Bannockburn.
Oh.
Which is basically like the first major battle the Scots actually won toward freedom. And there's bagpipes in it because, of course, you got to have it. So I helped get my dad attached to Sabaton through that. So that
Everybody
was great.
knows it's
They had a whole album based on the art of war. And in it, before every song, they would have lines from the art of war. Union, also known as Slope of St. Benedict, I think. Yeah, that one's really good too, because that one's basically when 4 armies converged into one, basically to march to Rome and, stop fascist Italy, which, Luckily, they kind of solved their own problem. But it's good to have a little bit of a, you got to get your way into Germany somehow. I'm pretty sure I have the Art of War somewhere.
It's not really a big book either.
Oh no!
It's like a small. You'd think the Art of War would be like very long. It's like no.
Oh no, Sun Tzu was like,
yeah.
look, simple. I'm cutting off all the fat. I'm leaving only what you fucking need. And in it, when it's translated, part of it was never fully translated because it's super old. We couldn't find all of it, but there's a line in it. I shit you not. You read it and you're like, that sounds awfully familiar. Because it kind of sounds like some lines from I'll Make a Man Out of You. Namely the lines of like strength of a coursing river, typhoon, fire, stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck? That sounds an awful lot like a Disney song I fucking know.
Tranquil as a forest.
Yeah, pretty much.
But on fire.
Here's the thing. It works. There's a reason why it's still on the reading list for the Marine Corps. Because that shit fucking works. And Sabaton has been basically helping reinvigorate people to history because they tell the different parts that make it so good. And it's the people. The people are what make it so good. Both the good, bad, and the ugly. They've done songs which have gotten them into some trouble because people don't understand. No, actually, Magma, Mulan is tied with another movie.
Hunchback.
Thank you. That one ekes by just a little bit, but that's because that was my first Disney movie that I really, really loved. And you can't fucking top all the fucking church bells and the heavy orchestra, as well as the singers in that movie. Damn.
Yeah. I learned a good portion of those songs.
Be a man out of you.
I'm sorry?
I learned most of those songs just by sheer repetitiveness of listening.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
no,
tracks.
that's how you fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sabaton has been said to be anti-Semitic, which is not fucking true.
No.
Not fucking true. Because they have done songs from the perspective of the Nazis. Final Solution is one of them. There are a couple other ones. They're from way earlier albums. But basically the questioning of were all of them flat out evil? Was it the actions? Could things have been different? And I don't think it's wrong to ask those questions because people who believe that they would only ever be the heroes in those stories, if they were to live the same thing, I think would be sorely mistaken. And I'm under no qualms to say I don't think I would be a good guy either. Okay? I don't. But I'm not foolish enough to believe or pretend that I would. Which is why we have to learn from history. And Sabaton, I mean, look, these guys have been a band almost as long as I've been alive. Yeah.
15 years is a long time.
Oh God, come on now.
It literally says 25.
I know, I'm joking. I'm just messing with you.
To my knowledge, it is free to play. There are supposed to be 10 chapters coming out. 4 are currently available. So
4 currently, 10 total.
If you want to play it, it is free. It is not on Steam, regrettably. It's through music apps.
Wow, really?
So yeah, if you got like Amazon Music or Apple, or you could just log in with your email. Trust me, if you've never listened to any of their music, do it. Do it. You will find yourself being a metalhead.
Start now.
I'm already a metalhead.
Yeah, exactly.
My love for you like ticking clock bazooka. Would you like to make some fuck bazooka?
Did he say making fuck? Anyone know that? Clerks?
No. Yeah, it's Clerks.
It's death metal. Show him your metal face. That's his fucking metal face. That's fucked up. I think a lot of us like metal in here anyway, so I mean, it's something that we probably wrap our head around, wouldn't you think, Oni? There's a lot of people here that like metal. Like,
well,
in our
because there are a
group.
lot of people who have different tastes, like
Yeah.
mixed tastes.
Of course.
So, yeah, I thought it was interesting because I mean, Sabaton being a power metal band, maybe would seem a little bit odd for them to get into video games, but some of these guys really do like video games. Okay, when they're touring and they just need some time for some shut eye, they're like, or I could game right now.
Yeah. And just remember, like, because like you're a like people like to put you in a box, like, oh, I'm a professional baseball player, but I love playing Madden, or like, oh, I'm a professional baseball player, but I also like to crochet. Like people have like crossover of interests, and it's just our nature to compartmentalize people, and like that's all they do. They eat, sleep, and shit that stuff, right? But I do it myself. I think everyone, it's just by nature. It's like, oh. Like you play D&D, but you also like to do this, and you also like to do that, and you also like to sew, right? So there's everyone has like, you never put it together until he's like, I think Terry Crews is a great example of this.
Oh, Terry Crews is an absolute gift.
Awesome.
Great example.
Just
Steve Buscemi, same thing.
The chat, some chat stuff.
Sure.
Seal is about to leave, so she said also.
Thank you for joining us.
For anyone watching that might be interested, I'm going to butcher this. I apologize. Gian Matsuri Kyoto Summerfest is happening from now until the 31st. Thought I'd represent the hometown before heading out to help my friend demonstrate for the local kendo dojo.
This is my dojo.
But thank you for stopping by, Nessiel.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, Nessiel.
Have fun, be safe.
Take care, brush your hair. Can you guys hear me knocking on my desk?
Yes.
You hear that?
A little bit.
I turned down my gate so that way you can hear me better. So, not that anyone wants to hear me, but yeah. They made a game. Sabaton.
Very good find, Oni. I appreciate that.
It just showed up.
Oh yeah. And then when we hear this music, it's a reminder of our trivia question.
The music we can't hear because of the way the mixer is.
Yeah, there was an update.
Naturally.
I have to.
I'll throw this one on.
But
no, we can't hear yours either.
Maybe I can. Maybe I can hit music on here and you'll hear it. Hold on.
This is supposed to be the Jeopardy song?
No. The music, you should be hearing it. Weird.
Unless it's just not coming to the headphones with Zoom.
It should be coming through on Zoom, and it's not.
I think my Steam.
But I'm really low on Zoom, so now you can probably hear me better on Zoom. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I have it's set to music. Weird.
Can you hear
Anyways, in Undertale, what did Kara eat that killed them? Buttercup flowers, butterscotch pie, or spider donuts? Like, who thinks of this shit? It's crazy.
With names like Undertale and Chara, I'm gonna go with the buttercup flowers.
I'm gonna go spider donuts. It's like the specialty from Dunkin' Donuts or something. I don't know. Like you get there too late. It's like all that's left is a spider donut. You're like, oh fuck, spider donuts, really? Like, can I have like the ant crullers or something? I don't know. My mixer's changed. My mixer out has like different colors. That's different. Okay. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this shit. I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. Let me just hit that. Let me see if you can hear it now. Can you? Let's just do a test. Can you hear it now? No.
Nope.
Yeah, I noticed that my Stream Deck isn't the audio isn't going through anymore.
Yeah, I think the update messed up. I don't know. I could fix it later.
I hear it.
Yeah, but now it's doubled over, I think. Yeah, there's an echo. See, they say there's an echo. So let me go to that one. See if that works.
Without technical difficulties.
Can you still hear it?
Nope.
It's all lagging out after all.
All right. See, if I go to that one and turn that one off. Oh, it doubles over. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know why it's not working. It should be. It worked on my lectures. Huh. Weird.
Well, I have to fix this.
I just have to go in there and just open everything up and test it. No big deal. All right, no worries.
I will recuse myself from that question. Like a cat.
Yes.
Recuse.
Oh, we got Dr. Disrespect updates. We don't care.
And we do not care. We don't give a shit. We don't care.
Yep. I mean, all the updates are rumors anyways. It's stupid. Nothing's substantiated. Nothing substantiated by evidence. People claiming he didn't know. People claiming he did know and didn't care. People saying that Twitch catfished him with it, but it wouldn't have mattered in that case. But all I can say is what we've all said at this point is all parties involved are guilty as fuck.
There is no black and white issue with this. It's just
black on black.
Straight up fuckery going on. Which is different from any other day, how?
Right? Anyways, moving on.
What's new?
Well,
what's new in games for July? We thought there weren't going to be a lot of games in July, but there is a shit ton of games in July.
Yeah, so I started poking around different sites to see what different things...
You said poke.
Yep. To see what different things were showing up, and I found a site that had something like 200 listings for new shit. Like, there was a bunch of updated shit, a bunch of re-releases on new platforms, a bunch of other everything. And
that's a lot of shit.
Then I went back to one of our tried and true sites that we'd been using to follow up on video game news, and it's very nicely condensed, which would be the link that I sent you earlier, Mr. Chieftain.
Yes, there's like it's like a constitution wall of shit.
No, if you click on the link that says July 2024, it'll take you to...
I thought you gave me was that the link that you gave me before the show, the 2024 link?
Yep.
It says video game, I have it here.
Yes. If you go to that one and then click on the July release, it's a nice condensed list.
Oh, there it is right here. Yay.
And
is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, that is exactly it. Good job.
I got something right. Yay.
Give yourself a bell.
Yes, I get a bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
Heard that.
Yeah, I heard that too. So a lot of this stuff looks like it's mobile platform stuff and PC. Very little by the way of consoles. And a lot of names and things on here that I have no idea, I don't recognize. But we'll say
I like the alliteration on Zenless Zone Zero, though. That one looks cool just because of the name.
Yep. And it looks like it's one of those mobile type games. The ones that caught my eye, it would happen to be the Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. It's the latest update that they're doing. It's a new content update. Final Fantasy XIV being an MMO. I know we don't like covering updates specifically, but this is one of those things where it's like an expansion, or it is an expansion. It's a content expansion, and a lot of my friends that play 14 have been chomping at the bit for it. Nessiel actually happens to be one of them. That came out on the 2nd. Good call.
Ruggedly handsome.
Good call on that one.
Still looks like a pretty boy.
I mean, most of the Final
It's like a
Fantasy
fuckboy
male
to me.
characters do.
I mean,
Hi.
yeah, but still, I wouldn't exactly call that rugged.
Aside from that, I don't know much about Final Fantasy 14 because I'm not an MMO player by any stretch of the imagination. I beta tested World of Warcraft back in the day and promptly lost about 6 years of my life to being addicted to it. I swore it off, and in that moment of swearing it off, I swore off all MMOs because I don't want to do that again. That being said, the next one that jumped out to me is Darkest Dungeon 2, which is probably, yeah, it's the PS5
Shit.
release of it. I don't even bother with that one, Chief.
I lost it.
It's a
I lost the link.
here
Hold on.
to
Go ahead.
But Darkest Dungeon 2 is a game that's been out for quite some time. It's apparently still pretty popular, though it seems to have left the attention cycle of all the streaming sites. Let's see what else pops out.
You said pop out.
I didn't see anything myself.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate coming to the Switch on the 17th.
Cool.
Saw that. Don't care.
Let's see. Oh, another big name, but not for the right reasons. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, coming out on the 18th. And the reason why it's a big name, but not for the right reasons, is that it's one of those projects that was that had a Sweet Baby Inc. type company assist them with it. And
Assist.
yes, assist with the downfall.
Basically going to the script, crossing out all the good lines and writing in dog crap.
Yes, yes. Another one that pops out to me for you racing fans out there is F1 Manager 2024 on the 20th.
F1 Manager?
Yeah. Not
So
sure.
you
you're
don't
no longer
actually
the
race,
driver,
you're like-
you're the manager.
Oh,
All right.
God.
That sounds exciting.
I don't
Yes, I
know.
want to manage an F1 team.
That's rarely on TV, but once a year for the Indy 500. Well, not even that's different. Indy cars are different than F1 cars.
I bet.
Yeah,
Apparently
they're both open wheel, right? So
Yeah. I couldn't possibly tell you the difference, but I know there is one.
Oh, this game. Okay, so Frostpunk 2 is getting some new content, it looks like. If you click on the Frostpunk 2 link, it has a screenshot of gameplay. I've seen this making the rounds on
Flintlock, you said?
no Frostpunk 2. I don't care about Flintlock.
This game looks frosty. Literally.
So, I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen it making the rounds on Twitch and YouTube here and there. And it looks intriguing, but it's a very SimCity-like game. So those are really the highlights that caught my attention, that came to mind. If anybody else has anything to say about these releases, I think I could sum it up in a statement of underwhelming.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know if anyone else does.
Zenless Zone Zero looks like it's a cross between like popular mobile games and then also what's the word for the Japanese storytelling ones?
Oh,
Like
visual
Ace
novel.
Attorney. Yeah, not visual novel, but what's Ace Attorney?
I don't. What genre
Or
would
maybe that's a bad
I don't know.
example.
what would you what genre would you consider that, Oni?
I mean, I would say it's kind of just I mean, that's more of almost a.
Well, hit the
In a
link
way-
and look at the picture that's there because that's what made me think of it, but I can't think of the name of it.
I gotcha.
Which link?
For the Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah. If you go back.
Near the top of the list. That one, yeah. Like that's kind of misleading given what I'm seeing in pictures down below, but it's definitely a Japanese type.
I mean, yeah, no offense, a lot of these, I'm gonna fucking say it, that looks more like a hack and slash. But anyways,
Yeah,
a lot of these manga anime style games to me are all the fucking same. They're wanting to be like Guilty Gear, but the problem is that they're all so fucking generic. They're all generic with art especially. And it's really annoying because I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'm gonna have to keep saying it because it doesn't fucking change. There's an obsession about making the girls as young as possible, and yet still drawn sexually. With revealing attire, but yet it's like, oh no, she's 30 years old, but she looks like she's 10, and it's like
The reviewer is not that supportive of this game either.
well, no, because here's the thing. There is unfortunately, it's kind of a race to the bottom at this point. A huge wave of anime and manga like games coming out right now. They're trying to cash in on it. Using generic art, with generic combat and everything, just to sell it. They're trying to be like the next Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, which neither of them are Japanese. Those are Hoyoverse is in China, so last I checked, not Japan. But
Tencent.
they don't understand what either they don't understand or they don't care about what actually goes into these games. So they just wind up being generic hack and slashers, very base, like a very flimsy story just to tie it all together to explain even maybe explain some of the art. But it's just really annoying because it's always about like little girls or women who look like little girls, and then they try to make the men either look like actual men or like beasts or some sort of online level bullshit. Couldn't tell, I despise the trope a lot. So I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all. I will dig into these games a bit harder because again, they feel soulless, and two, they are feeding into the worst of manga and anime culture that has been bred from essentially the money. Otaku and weebs have a distinctly negative connotation, especially regarding women, because unfortunately there is a tie for a lot of people who may not quite know or care that weebs and otaku are kind of seen as incels, where they're like, oh, I love Japanese culture, but I have no respect for the culture. Or I love Japanese women because they're submissive and meek, and that's what I want in a woman. And it's like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, dude.
Yeah, go to Iceland for that shit. There's such an under population of men. They'd pay you to go there.
Well, they also have an issue with the fact that a lot of people are related because most people aren't moving to Iceland, if you could imagine.
Right.
But I mean, Japan has a plummeting birth rate, which
it's a reoccurring theme in developed nations that a lot of them have this low birth rate. Like China has it as well.
Well, no. China's in a different boat.
They did it to themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they fucking did.
But they still have a plunging birth rate.
That they did themselves.
Yeah, I'm not established. I'm not denying that they did. I'm just flat out. Go ahead.
But these other developed countries have a few different reasons.
Right.
Not because they are doing heinous things to the children, especially if it's a girl.
Right.
Part of it is because as countries develop, they tend to not have as many children, and they tend to also not have children until they're a little older.
Excuse me.
Second of all, better hygiene practices means you don't have to have as many children because they're probably going to make it to adulthood. They will probably survive. Can't say that about other places necessarily, let alone the fact that having children is already a risk, also expensive. But then, especially when you have like things like Social Security involved or an economy, and you don't have the people who are literally going to fill those positions or fill more of those positions, you get into this really interesting thing called an upside down triangle.
There you go.
Where
She got
you
there.
have lots of people who need the support and not a lot of people who can do any of the supporting because there aren't enough of them or they don't fucking care. Kind of like Italy, kind of like Greece, kind of like America, kind of like Japan, kind of like a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
India and China are in a separate boat, in my opinion, because they also have cultural practices that are still, even if they are legally not allowed, they are socially and culturally encouraged to kill the girl children. So there's that. But then also Japan has another has for years also had a few other things going on, like finding your identity after losing a major world war because you were the bad guys. Yeah, that's
I'm a bad guy.
restructuring your government because you suddenly have a very different branch of the royal family and an entirely new government. Oh yeah, and the Americans are now babysitting you. Yikes. Also, the westernization was already happening in Japan prior to World War II, obviously, but it definitely hit after World War II. And with that came a huge divide between the people who liked the change and the people who didn't. And it is still something they are battling today. It is not simple, it is not clear cut. But the Japanese are also very, even if genetically speaking, in a lot of ways, they're not quite homogenous, they are still very much a people of everyone has their place. Everything has its place. If you do not fit, we reject you. Unless it's the right type of not fitting, then we're going to celebrate you. But it's a very tenuous relationship. So that's why I kind of dig into it a little bit harder, because I don't see a lot of people discussing it as much as they're discussing the surface level shit. The meek and submissive idea of a woman, it has been around in a lot of different cultures. The problem is that these dudes have no fucking idea how to earn respect, how to treat others with respect. They don't understand that there's a give and take, a living feed that goes on in relationships, regardless of whatever type of relationship it is. Like in this room, the metaphorical digital space that we are in right now, there is a living circuit going on regarding the visual of what I'm reading from the people that I can see. I'm listening to the inflections of their words. I am listening for tone. I'm listening for word choice, what isn't being said. And the dialogue grows from there. And with the otaku and weeb types, they're not always self-aware, which is partly the problem. But then there's also the struggle of they want something and they don't know how to get it. And what they want is anything from love or respect, but they don't know how to earn that. And a woman just flat out agreeing with everything you do does not mean you're smart or good. Okay, if she can't bring up an argument against you because you flip out like a child, that's an issue. And if you go, well, you need to submit because that's what a good woman would do. My dude.
I keep on thinking of the Whatever podcast where this woman's like, I do my job. Like, you'd be so pissed at her. She's like, you know what? He comes home, he works all day, and I do my job. I suck, I fuck, and I cook and clean. She literally said that.
No,
She's
here's
like,
the thing, though.
But that's her choice. That's
yeah,
the thing.
if she chose that and it works
Right.
for them, great.
Right.
I want no part of it.
But not every person's built differently, like is what
But
you're
it
saying.
works for them.
Right.
But the thing is that everyone in that relationship has an understanding and knows where they stand, what they need to do in that relationship to make it work. So if it works for them, then I'm not going to say it's broken. It's clearly it's
Right.
working out. Great. These guys who tend to unfortunately give weebs and otaku a really bad name don't understand that, one, you can't just pick and choose your dream girl, okay? It's like,
Tell me about it.
it's like they want everything to just fit like it's a manga or a video game, but they don't want to live in real life. I don't want to live in real life either, but you know what? I fucking do. Because you know what? Video game isn't going to give me any satisfaction. I can do that, so some of that shit at least in real life. You know, I just try to make everything a little mini adventure, like a Ghibli movie. That's what makes Hayao Miyazaki so good at the movie storytelling business, is because he hasn't lost touch with humanity, let alone his own humanity.
Oh, Jesus.
And
he's back.
Hello, sorry for bothering you. I wanted to offer you a promotion. No, thank you.
Yeah, we'll go on our own crusade. Thanks.
I think that one hit my stream a couple of days ago.
Yeah. You can have these nuts, exactly.
Didn't have any hesitation as soon as I saw that.
Yep.
So, I'm wrapping it up now.
Okay.
They basically fetishize certain aspects of these cultures without any respect to what it actually means.
Mhm.
And Japan has and still does have a serious issue with, just like a lot of other countries, America is no fucking different with human trafficking, especially with children. Now, Japan has gotten better about some of the laws regarding children, but this is where we come back to the whole conservatism being not that great in this case.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't change some of the laws till very, very recently regarding children. Scary. Very scary. So
Yeah.
it doesn't help. But again, it's just like any place else. Everywhere's got their demons. Everywhere's got their ups and downs, because we're people. Okay? That would be like me saying that there is absolutely no redeeming quality about thus and such place or people. That is really reductive and more than likely false, because people are multifaceted and there are good and bad potentials within all of us. So, so those games I feel like kind of just really just are just the worst of the video games, because they're just so cheap. They're so bland and surface level. If I wanted that, I could just look at the advertisement and I'd be done with it. It's like, oh cool, I don't need anything else. Because it's just as vapid between the pages.
Anywho, what's next on the docket?
What is next on the docket? My mouse not working. There we go. It goes to sleep.
Mouse.
It's me. There we go. The art is beautiful. 45 Parabellum Bloodhound. Cyberpunk. Active time action.
So
Let me do a thing here. You guys are watching Lagging Out Live. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Friday, we talk about video games, pop culture, and everything in between. I am Chieftain. To my right is the very knowledgeable Blacklight Oni, and below us tonight is Hero, the IT guy, and the Mariner sitting in for Soda this week. Yeah. So go ahead, Miss Blacklight Oni. Go ahead and take the helm here, young lady.
sorry, I'm responding to something Mojo said.
A coworker of mine was doing her doctoral on the effects of social media and media on sexuality and relationships, and found that plays a huge role in how males view females. Interesting. Males are very visual. This is not as... Yeah, we are by nature very visual. The tough part is when you're watching stuff online, no one's catching where you're looking. Then when you talk to a real woman, they're like, my eyes are up here thing is more prominent now than it ever has been, because there's no one telling these guys stop looking at a woman's chest or stop looking down, and so actually make basic contact with their eyes when they're speaking. Mm-hmm. It's something you have to unlearn if you're doing socials, if you're on the media and you're on the internet a lot. Go ahead, Oni.
I if I may say, I think it's more pervasive than that, because
go ahead, expand upon it.
you can. This is going to probably get a little bit more political than I mean to, so I do apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
It's something that wears on me because I do consume this type of discussion a lot, where I fear and I worry for men in general because of the way society has been moving. For starters, society is more openly misandrist, and it's celebrated. I was re-listening to Omegon's videos regarding the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, and it's been 2 years, but it's still shocking that some of these effects haven't really changed much, such as with male domestic violence survivors. What doesn't help, I think, is the fact that these social media sites being run on algorithms so powerfully, once you start feeding into it, it feeds more and more and more. So you may start off here, and let's say this is central. Let's say this doesn't really move. I know societally it does change. We're gonna ignore that for a second. But you start maybe you start going here, and you start going here, and things start feeding, and then they keep going, and then they keep going. And soon enough, you wind up so far on the other side, you're just like, how the fuck did I get over here? Mm-hmm. But it can happen so slowly you don't even realize it. Where you might just be on the side of, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to talk to a girl. Or, hey, I'm just looking on how to better my life or better my financial standing. And suddenly, you're listening to guys who are saying, they're degrading women. They are treating them as nothing but sexual objects for procreation, that women don't know what they want. Basically, like, women are a plug and chug equation. They have X, you insert Y, and you get Z as the outcome. They're people. They completely break down and take apart the humanity of the people. So all you're left is just these components. They've dehumanized things so much. And the younger you are, the more you think this is normal, because you have no other basis for reality, and the fact that you have no other experience. So I'm reading what Mojo responded with. Oh yeah, and Mojo, you're absolutely right, because especially when humans didn't live nearly as long.
The good old days.
Women's ability to procreate was a really narrow window. It still kind of is, but with the use of a lot of science technologies, that has gotten a lot better. It's still not all there, okay? But it has definitely improved for a lot of people. And the thing is that I've talked to my dad about this too, where women and men aren't held to the same standard regarding growth. So like, we're gonna look at Idris Elba. He's in like what, his 50s, and people still find him incredibly attractive, both visually and mentally and emotionally. But when they're looking at women, they completely disregard women like Kate Moss or Sarah Michelle Gellar in favor of, I don't know who's hip and cool or in right now, but pretend that it's one of those.
That's wild because like
No,
I find Kate Moss very
but that's because we're in a similar boat. People who are younger keep saying women over 30 are past their prime. That's what some of these men are being taught. But that's not true. And what also really bothers me is the fact that they keep saying a woman, I'm going to use the vulgar language that I have heard used before. Basically,
cover your ears.
Don't get, don't sleep with a woman who has, fucked X amount of dudes because, she doesn't know how to pair bond anymore. She's broken or whatnot. The problem is the same thing happens with men. They just don't want to, they don't want to admit that. These guys are so insecure, they won't admit that. If all you know how to do is take someone to bed, but you never take it farther than the bedroom, you don't learn how to foster a relationship or how to have an interpersonal relationship. You're not a fucking relationship guru. You're just a fuckboy. You're a fuckboy with a social media platform. Good for you. You are literally the type of guy that makes the type of women you denigrate.
Yeah.
But you're the one who keeps going for those women. So what does that say about you? You are worse than what you're talking about.
I think
you're
Snoop
a
Dogg's
fucking hypocrite.
I think Snoop Dogg said it best when he said, "Fuck them hoes." I'm just kidding.
Well, here's the thing. Guys like Snoop Dogg, and I think
he's actually a really good dad. That's the thing.
I wasn't gonna go there, but
yeah.
When he used to especially talk, he was in his early rap days.
Oh yeah.
He and a lot of the folks in that era would sing about that.
Yep.
Well, there was a blues soul singer who was hearing about all this, and she invited them to her home. And she basically was like, "Would you call me that? Would you explain to your daughters that this is how you see women?"
Mm-hmm.
And then they all kind of were like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Never fucking did it again. Because it does affect you. If you think it doesn't affect you, it does.
He was actually interviewed recently. It's like, going with today's 2024 values is like, do you want to apologize to the way you were talking back in the day? And he just goes, "No, fuck them hoes." And it was just like literally 6 months ago.
Now, here's the thing.
It's crazy.
I'm not saying people should should always feel shameful or apologize for every little thing they do.
Yeah.
It's that we need to grow from that. And with social media, especially being absolutely everywhere in our pockets, on our TVs and whatnot.
Right.
And especially because it's getting to people who are younger, and the fact that you've got parents giving their children uninhibited access to the internet, which means the internet has uninhibited access to their children. They are being raised by the internet and then wondering why the children don't respect them. I don't know how you don't understand this. It's making problems worse.
That's what my brother doesn't. My brother doesn't expose his kids to that stuff. He's like, "No, you can't have that shit. You get an hour a night for video games, and I'm watching you."
Yeah,
like, he's just like, "I will kick your ass."
Take control by that shit.
He is not my mom always said, "Never be a friend, be a parent first."
Yeah, no, my
and I'm sure your parents are the same way.
My parents are still my parents. I still go to them for advice when I seek counsel.
Oh, yeah.
But absolutely absolutely not. If you want to make sure those kids are raised the way you want them raised, you need to be fucking raising. You can't go and parse off that responsibility to somebody else and then wonder why they don't respect you. Because respect is fucking earned. And I will say, regards to what Mojo said about like advertisements, it's because advertisements for women tend to be directed in the this is what you should desire. If you don't fit that, you're wrong. That's why body types change all the time.
But don't you find it annoying that at beauty pageants, a woman that's 250 pounds wins a beauty pageant? Does that say, what does that say? The argument is body positive, but I argue, is it healthy body positive? Is it healthy to be super thin? But in retrospect, is it healthy to be morbidly obese and winning the same pageant? I go, you're going to one extreme to the other. And the way they market to females is almost the same way they market to males. Like I always use the He-Man Barbie scenario when we were kids. I don't look like fucking He-Man, nor will I ever look like He-Man. There are women that see Barbie. They will never look like fucking Barbie. But that's the way marketing is. But some people overshoot it to a point where it's ridiculous to another extreme. That's my issue. It's like, yeah, find that happy medium, but we're not at that happy. We're overcompensating for bad behavior for the last 40 years when it comes to video games or body images or that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
It's always been that way. It's always
right.
Been
I'm not saying it's not.
Okay, it's because it's because marginalizing as many people as possible is marketable. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you're right.
Or it's propaganda. It's to drive forward this idea of what you should want. And that's why being an independent thinker for yourself, someone who can identify these things, is so important, especially the younger you are. And especially when you are being thrown into the deep end of something and everyone wants to brainwash you. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
I say that because statistically speaking, I would probably be more at risk than in some ways than if I were more of a traditional girly girl. Because if I were a traditional girly girl, I'd be finding the advertisements in Vogue or Harper's Bazaar is a fashion magazine, right? Yeah.
Only the thing about you and everyone here is you are your authentic self, and someone should not degrade you for that. That's why we like you. That's why I like you, because you're authentic.
To others, though, it's like, well, why do you never wear skirts or dresses? Or, well, why don't you want to get married or have kids? Or, well, why don't you wear makeup? One, have you seen the fucking price tag on everything? Like, like, bitch, you're lucky I'm fucking buying face wash, okay? And it's at Dollar Tree, okay? We're not going to fucking.
There's not a lot of chemicals in those Dollar Tree things. So that's why they're in Dollar Tree.
Should I probably go to Ulta and buy a face wash? Yeah, maybe if I gave a fuck more. But because I don't want to. If I don't want to,
hydration.
If I don't fucking care, I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
That's the thing. I
don't do George Bush twice tonight.
It's partly why it's really nice not to have TV, because I'm not watching these advertisements. I mean, I'm watching YouTube advertisements because I don't pay for YouTube Premium.
Facebook has fucking advertisements on private videos. Like they're not making enough fucking money.
I don't even remember the last time I logged into my Facebook, but I don't. I just don't care, because my life is really mostly focused on paying bills, on snacking, on what am I doing next for my next goal. I'm not worried about
having fun and having a life.
I mean, I have fun
What-
and have a life, but my life is mostly paying bills and planning for things. But I'm not being drawn in. I'm not worried about. Well, aren't you worried about what men think of you? I
No.
tend to not really care about what most humans think about. I try not to
yeah.
think of humans actually, like ever.
See, you act more like a Gen Xer, like you don't give a fuck what people think. That's the way I think. I'm like,
I mean, what am I gonna do? Why would I seek validation from people that I, one, don't give a fuck about, and two,
right,
will do nothing but denigrate me?
right.
Why do I give a shit what Andrew Tate thinks of me? I don't. He's got his own problems that he did himself. He has made his bed and he is now having to lay in it. Why would I seek validation from people I don't even like? That makes no sense. It's called, I seek validation from people I like by just being myself and trying not to fuck over other people in my pursuit of living. You know, if I need advice, I go to my parents because chances are they've either been there, done that, or they know people who've been there, done that. And they can advise me on what is going on or what am I seeing? Am I going crazy? The answer is yes, but also no. But it's not because we're all saying the same thing and agreeing with each other that we work together well. It's because of the fact that we are all kind of just, we interact with each other as we're all going on in this crazy roller coaster of life. You know, that's why it works out so well. These people who are only focused on matching the footsteps of the guy next to them are lost. And especially the more we keep putting cell phones in the hands of kids really pisses me off. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
My daughter doesn't have a cell phone yet.
No, I wouldn't. My nephews don't either. He's going to be 10
And
in 2 weeks.
Started talking about how some of her friends have one, and I'm like, nope.
Only reason why my parents gave Badger and I cell phones when we were, I think, 9 or 10 was because we were having to walk from the bus stop to our grandparents' house, and it was like a mile or something like that.
Yikes.
And it was a little far. And it was a flip phone, LG phone. So there's barely anything on it. But it was so that we can contact people in case of emergency. Because again, mountains of North Carolina, we were new. Mountains. So that made sense. But it was nothing like this kind of stuff. Okay.
Not a pop.
Yeah. Look, this cell phone is absolutely chunky. It's massive. I was scared about the size of this because I'm like, I don't really look at it compared to my fucking hand. Let me show you my old phone. This was the phone before it. This is a different LG. Look at them. Look at them.
Difference.
This one cheats because he's got 2 screens. But like, what
Cricket.
the fuck? Like, look,
She's Cricket. She's going to shrink.
Like, now, this was a cheaper phone, okay? I will absolutely admit that. Pricing it out though, this was I think $230 when I purchased it. This was about $570 and some change if I'm including tax.
I
Then it was
spent
about
$1,000 on my phone.
Because Apple.
Let me quickly break it down. This was purchased from Best Buy. And I transferred it to Metro PCS where they had to put a new SIM card because apparently between this phone to this phone, SIM cards shrank.
Mine doesn't even have a SIM card anymore. They have virtual SIM cards now.
What?
On Macs. Yep.
What?
There's a lot of phones. I would say most of them now have gone to the virtual SIM card.
What?
But they're
a few
all
years
locked
ago.
now.
This is like I got my phone's like 4 years old, so like I don't have a SIM card in this.
4 years old. When the fuck did virtual SIM cards happen? Am I
It was this decade.
Once you go Mac, you don't go back, Oni. Come on.
No,
Come
because I'm
on.
really fucking communist.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not getting an LG phone because I have standards.
Hang on. What's the sound of that? That's the sound of desperation I hear in your voice.
Well, wait till I get my MacBook Pro, my new one at the end of the summer. You're really going to hate me.
Nobody's going to hate you for that. Care? It's your choice to spend your money.
Again, why would I care? Buy it for the tool. Don't buy it to...
No, I buy it for the... I buy it for like...
I know you buy it for the technology. I know you buy it for the technology. I get it.
Yeah.
But
bless it.
I shit you not.
I wish I can stream on it. That's the only thing I'm frustrated with it.
Not. There are people online who go, if so-and-so dates, or if I go on a date and I see so-and-so's using an Android, I'm breaking up with them.
Oh, I hate those people. First world problems. Get fucked, bitch. You probably got the herp anyway.
Standards and your values are upheld by whatever brand phone they use, you will die alone. And you probably should, because...
That's why I got the panty dropper Jeep Wrangler. Come on.
Oh, please. If you were buying the panty dropper Jeep Wrangler, you'd be buying the Willis. And trust me, they would get laid by literally anybody.
Yeah. I had the choice to buy the Willis. It was the same price.
No, I mean Willis. The old Willis.
The old school Willis.
Before it was Jeep.
It Willis or Willys?
It's pronounced Willis, but
don't ask why it's pronounced Willis.
It looks like it's called Willie, but it's actually Willis. Yeah, I thought that was weird too, Mariner. I was just like, wait, did you say Willis?
Let's just say it. Military.
Right. One of my first projects, Oni, was about an animated Jeep. He was called Tugger because he towed airplanes, and this Tugger, the Jeep that wanted to fly. So that was my first exposure to Jeeps there, because it was like one of those old night. What's that? What's that?
Don't use the words Tugger and exposure in the same sentence.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, those were the OG Jeeps with the drop down windshields and stuff like that. You know?
Which they had to start putting up because when they came out, this was World War II. Nazis were putting up razor wire and shit to decapitate all the inhabitants. So the contractors are like, maybe we should not fucking do that. It's like, yeah, you fucking shouldn't.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? People like to not be decapitated while driving.
Sorry.
So, back to your topic.
Were we on the topic?
Yeah, 45 Parabellum Bloodhound.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
That feels like 45 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, Mojo. You had a great thing I talked about, and I'm so sorry I rambled on so long. It's something I'm really passionate about because, again, most of my friends are dudes, and I worry about them. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gazoo. So this game is coming out soon-ish. I won't say it's going to be like, anytime soon. I haven't seen a release date quite yet. Long story short, the creators of this are I'm trying to find the actual name because Skabon Games. It looks like Sukebon. I'm pretty sure it might be pronounced Skabon Games.
I think that's correct.
Who made what was considered a cyberpunk bartending game called VA11 Hall A.
Valhalla.
Nice.
Valhalla.
So it looks really weird without the actual title. So they have been working on a different type of game, and I'm very pleased with this concept because, as we all know, there are a couple of games that I shit on a lot, and unfortunately, the Third Birthday is one of them because even to someone who's never played Parasite Eve, when I started going into the Parasite Eve wiki and really started digging into what the original stories were, The third birthday was not. It had nothing related to the stories besides the characters, and even then, barely. It was like by name. The spirit of the game was not something I was seeing. And then watching gameplay footage, I'm like, oh wow, this game missed the mark entirely. Even the fandom especially was not happy. Well, someone apparently got sick and tired of waiting on Square Enix to unfuck themselves and decided, I'll make a spiritual successor to Parasite Eve if they won't. Now, if you recall, Parasite Eve, the video game, was based on Parasite Eve, the movie, which was based on Parasite Eve, the book. So this is one of those rare instances where a video game was inspired to some degree by a book. Fairly closely to, not like, oh well, it was inspired by Tolkien, because a lot of things are inspired by Tolkien. No. The game is considered sort of a sequel to the movie Parasite Eve, which is based on a very, very outlandish concept regarding mitochondrial Eve, the theory that because all mitochondria are passed down from the mother to child, and only through the maternal line, that there is essentially a hive mind consciousness of mitochondria.
Oh yeah.
I'm not kidding. This is an actual theory. You can look it up. I am not making this up. That's the basis of this story. So, in the original video game, it used some mechanics that you would find in classic Square Enix games, such as running up to an enemy and it would bring up a separate screen of, X amount of enemies and types and blah blah blah. Well, what was different about it that I haven't seen since was that this game, Parasite Eve, the second one didn't use the same mechanics. They kind of adapted to more modernized mechanics. Parasite Eve original had basically almost like an area of effect type of gameplay, where if you selected a certain type of handgun round, it would show you the enemies it would hit and the likelihood of hitting or the damage output. Or if you were to use your mitochondrial powers, you could do X amount of damage and it would show the different stats. And obviously, the main character was a woman named Aya. So she is basically trying to uncover this plot, and scary shit's going on. It takes place in New York, obviously, because everything has to take place in New York. And shit gets crazy. Parasite Eve 2 follows her story. Parasite Eve, i.e., doesn't really exist. The third birthday totally derails itself, and it's been 13 years since we saw a sequel. So, Sabaton decided to make a spiritual successor. Similar gameplay mechanics, it seems like. Also, very similar graphics to PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Mostly leaning toward PlayStation 1. I mean, like, grungy, dark, blocky shit going on. Which I like. PlayStation 1 horror, or PlayStation 1 style horror games are actually quite popular, and definitely a different level of creepy. And I'm not just saying that because the Japanese level of creepy is really creepy, but because it's the idea of, well, it sort of looks human, but that definitely isn't what a human looks like kind of shit. Yeah, the glitchiness of the games is kind of the appeal of it. They're bringing back the area of effect damage. They're bringing back a female main character who actually has a personality. Like, kind of riding the cyberpunk gravy train, but not in the same way of other cyberpunk games. Arguably would say probably a little bit of Ghost in the Shell with like dystopian, like dark grungy dystopian, not sleek cyberpunk dystopian kind of shit. And there hasn't been much released in terms of images that I can see, but I mean, it looks really cool. So, It doesn't look like it's got a release date quite yet. But I'm really hoping that they'll release it. They've been working on it for a little over 2 years now. So it'll probably be a little while for them, but it's nice to finally see classic Parasite Eve getting a little love because Square Enix has definitely fucked the pooch on that one. I honestly doubt they will ever bring it back. Which is a shame because besides Final Fantasy 14, I don't know of a Final Fantasy game people really like to play.
There's been a few.
Final Fantasy 15 I heard really mixed reviews about. The lightning storyline I heard
13 was trash from all
mixed.
reports.
So really
The 7 remakes have been going over well.
Depending on who you are. I obviously there are people who love it, hate it, and whatnot. Oh no, she's got actual clothing given the screenshots I'm seeing. But still kind of very much a Ghost in the Shell-esque blend with Parasite Eve. Yeah, no, it's not like what Their Birthday did, which was so stupid. It was dumb. And I don't think I'm just saying that because I find it unattractive as fuck, but it was like you couldn't find another mechanic, really. You're really that desperate that you gotta pull that card. Okay. There really wasn't too much in terms of the article that I found regarding this game, but look, 90s had some really great art. It was really experimental for video games, especially as Japan was making it really out into the international market. So I'm optimistic. We all know I like my indie game titles because I think that they understand more of the soul of video games and will save the video game industry after it inevitably crashes from within itself, besides Nintendo, who, by the way, came out with a fucking Chad statement saying, yeah, we're not using AI because we actually have talent and we understand what makes video games. I'm like,
nice.
I shit you not. What did they, oh my gosh. Let me read to you what they actually said in the as the title article. It was some fucking art that they had said. It was poetry.
Kind of reminded me of the days of back when they were doing insulting letters back and forth between each other, between Nintendo and Sega.
Oh, that was great. The letters are hilarious. So this is what they said. Nintendo says it doesn't need generative AI to make games because it has decades of know-how and doesn't want any issues with intellectual property rights. That was the president, Shuntaro Furukawa. Sir,
easy for you to say.
She's about the only one.
Right.
Fucking Chad was like, no, we don't need that. We're too good at what we do to actually need that. Yeah, they basically were like, yeah, Wizards of the Coast. Not today, not the
Make
one.
that stereo.
So
it's me, Mario, and this is a bullshit.
So I, had to do a shout out for Nintendo because that warmed my cold dead heart. But yeah, so we may not get a.
Tony's heart grew 2 sizes.
Maybe a size and a half.
What's the line? Size and a half.
Size and a half. Let's not get too too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so we may never see another good Parasite Eve game, let alone another Parasite Eve game ever again. But it doesn't mean other people have forgotten Aya and how cool she was, and they're like, Ghost in the Shell was really cool.
Yeah.
So was Parasite Eve. What if we did something with that? Because like the original Ghost in the Shell. I mean, let's just say Ghost in the Shell and Eon Flux were basically 2 sides of the same coin, which is to say, wow, it was not kid friendly.
No.
But its edginess and its its forward thinking regarding that kind of stuff really did open the door for a lot of other genres and titles to make it through. So, and this type of art definitely gives definitely is a throwback to like 90s Final Fantasy. By the way, that artist has been doing art for like ever.
Oh yeah.
And like that's their style. It's very cool. And I'm kind of envious, honestly. But this game, I hope to hear more about this game. Please don't drop it. Please don't lose it. Please just keep working on it. Please release it at some point. Thanks. We need more good stories.
Tell me a story.
Yeah. I would also love to see a new Legacy of Kain, but
If I can't get a Deus Ex game, we're probably not getting a Legacy of Kain game. I'm
no,
sorry.
they're under the same umbrella, which is an umbrella of shit right now.
Oh, see, this is back in the era where Vine was still a thing. Some of these are old Vines. Like the one with Sans and Papyrus. Yeah, that was based on a Vine, and when Undertale got popular, Vine was basically on its way out the door, but people were able to superimpose their heads on it. That's pretty much what happened. I'm surprised Badger didn't put a Temmie on there. Tem. It's a character in Undertale. Don't ask what it is. It's like a little dog thing. Think of it as Smitty, the cat, but as a dog.
Yeah.
That's Temmie. They run a village. They like money. Yeah.
I like money.
Kind of like what's his name? Tom
Green.
No, from
Holland.
Animal Crossing.
Oh.
The extortion artist. That's a whole different story. Anyways, this leads to the next slide,
which is our trivia question once again, which will have an answer. In Undertale, what did Kara eat that killed them? Buttercup flowers.
I do know the story behind it, which is really fucking sad.
Butterscotch pie.
Or spider donuts. Yummies.
I will recuse.
Which worse, is spider donuts or raisins in your potato salad?
Ugh.
That's apparently a white person thing.
Supposedly, but that's not. I don't claim. I don't
claim that either.
That was a Martha Stewart thing, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
In a little bit, I could show you. My mom makes this killer macaroni salad.
Ooh, I love.
Yeah, it's spirelli. It has provolone cheese in it. It has some pepperoni in it. It's got broccoli. It's got tomatoes, and it's got black olives. And then you get the Olive Garden salad dressing, and you mix it all together, and it's fucking amazing.
It's still Olive Garden salad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if Red Lobster could do it.
If I remember correctly, the Olive Garden salad dressing is a type of a type of vinaigrette.
Yeah, it's like an Italian dressing. That's all.
It's more like an Italian, which is, I mean, it's still a.
I'll go get a bowl and I'll fucking show you guys in a second. It's really good. I'll show it to you. I'll bring a bowl in and I'll just put the camera up to it. It looks amazing.
It'll be a mukbang.
Yeah. If you guys want the recipe, let me know. If you can get us to 620 follows on Twitch, we'll do it. No. But I'm not gonna hold you guys hostage for a fucking recipe. That's stupid. Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's coming through.
Yes, Mariner, I'm sorry.
I didn't realize we were going to go straight to the answer. I thought we were going to do some hanging out and chatting, because I actually thought of a topic that I could go into.
We could talk about the topic. Yeah, go for it. I'm going to go get the macaroni salad while you guys are talking.
Cool. So I was actually listening to Juicehead on YouTube about 2 weeks ago. and he was talking about an interview that Todd Howard had with a different YouTuber. So everything I'm about to go into is like third-hand reporting, but the essence of what I got from Juicehead's conversation about the interview was Bethesda's going with an interesting idea for Starfield, and they're doing this in a couple of other games as well. It's like the next Elden Ring will probably do this as well. So you know how Fallout 76 has expansions. It's an MMO, but it's got expansions, kind of like World of Warcraft had expansions. It's not like it's so their first DLC is going to be coming out in September, I think. But they're going with the same idea for their future Starfield and future games in the same way that they're going about the MMOs. Like every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months to a year or whatever, 76 gets expansions. We're supposed to get something like this for Starfield. The first one is supposed to take place on a planet in the galaxy, and a bunch of the stuff that you do for that content stays on that planet, which drastically reduces the number of load screens you have to deal with, which was the main complaint about Starfield. And I find that kind of interesting. And while Starfield is getting playable, I think it's going to take time, but we're going to get the content for Bethesda that we wanted at the beginning. But it's just going to take a while, and it's going to be, it's an interesting idea. I'm curious to see how it's going to go in execution. One of the main arguments for this is because of how awful Fallout 76 was. It only got playable because of the expansions.
That looks so delicious.
Oh wow!
I love macaroni salad.
Yeah, it's multicolored pasta. I'm sorry, and cherry tomatoes cut up. It looks like salami in there, and provolone cheese, and pecorino romano cheese mixed in there as well.
Gazoo says it looks like candy.
It is. It's kind of like candy. Oh, look! I look better already. I'm out of focus. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mariner. My apologies.
Okay. So the having it be like this for single player games is interesting. It will definitely extend the life of said game. If I can imagine if they'd done something like this with Fallout 4 or Skyrim, it might have been interesting. But the thing you got to remember is Fallout 4, Skyrim, those games have been around for a while, and there are still people playing them. There are people modding them, making mods for them. I mean, look at like games like Fallout London. If we could ever get that, stop Bethesda from keeping that from happening. There's what else? But yeah, modders have kept those games alive for a long time. This is Bethesda's attempt to add content to games to make them last even longer, which is interesting. The only counterpoint that I can see to this idea was that could they have not given us a complete game at the beginning? Because
kind of where I was about to go.
Yeah. So I think I triggered Oni on that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chieftain, take a look at what Soda said in the chat. Yeah, that just aggravates me. Like, why can't we get the content?
What the fuck?
That catches.
Now, I will say there is content to Starfield. However, it's weak tea compared to what in Skyrim and Fallout. My frame of reference is more Fallout. Other people who played Skyrim will probably agree.
Yeah,
there's the fact that they have to fill this in later is not encouraging. But at the same time, if they had think about this though, if they had started out with Starfield actually giving us a compelling story. None of the BS. Sorry, Bethesda, but none of the pronouns. You could have had a good game from the start, and then you could have built off that with more good content.
It's like Gen Z.
It's taking your game 6 months to a year to become playable. Did you not see what happened to Cyberpunk?
And
So why they did?
situation.
Yeah, I mean, starting off with weak tea and making a game out of it doesn't work. So it's gonna get mixed results, I think, at the very best. It could be in 5 years, which is how long it's been since 76 came out.
I don't remember how long it took for Fallout 76, but like the game, it was like they
At
built
least 2 years.
it
But
was,
I think it was pushing 3 before it was actually finally stable and playable.
yeah, it was like it was like they were building a house and they're like, here you go, you can move in now. Where are the walls, the windows, the doors? All you gave me was freaking the struts of the house with a roof on top.
How did the QA testers say, "Oh, that's fine, let's ship it"?
I still think that month was probably one of the worst months I've seen a video game and their company have.
Oh yeah.
It was impressive how fucked up it was. And I haven't seen quite anything like it since, which is at least a small mercy. Problem is, we're still scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel here.
We're still getting the same trend for a lot of games.
Like,
just buy a bigger computer is what they say. I love that shit.
no, not just that. It's like
that was tone deaf. That was extremely
our
tone
game,
deaf for Todd Howard.
You should be paying $120 for a game. I want it fucking done. When I buy the fucking thing, it should be ready to go. Like, Baldur's Gate 3,
it should cost $120 and it should be complete. I agree.
But and here, that's what Larian Studios was saying about Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 in early access was rough. But you want to get that shit out of the way now. And it was a bold move to put it in early access because that is very vulnerable for everybody involved.
Oh yeah.
But it gave them so much room to grow and go places with the story they didn't even know that they would go into, which is great. But Larian also said, look, we know our game is worth this much money. We are not putting it on Xbox Game Pass because it would cheapen the work and then we wouldn't be able to do the same work for you guys with the next game. So we believe this game is worth the money. Any DLCs and extra stuff that happens afterward, you already paid the price. You already bought the game. Everything after is just extra. That's just the bonus stuff. But it's playable now. That's how it is.
I'm sorry. I know I go back and forth with Chieftain on the $120 game thing.
Yes, because you're wrong, but go ahead.
Except I'm not. Here's the point I would make. If a developer wants to charge $120 for a game, as Chieftain says, a finished game, they need to, it's like trust. They need to prove they deserve it first. The people that I think can do it, like say Chieftain, maybe, perhaps, would have to
give me too much credit.
Develop a game that is complete, compelling, great on all points, firing on all cylinders, a fully built house, not just a structure with a roof on it and open air access. But it would have to be a finished product at delivery before I would say yes. $120 for a video game is worth it. Because and I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to release this game and this is just the first half of the story and we're going to charge you extra for the DLC later. Like, I'm not on board with a Fallout 76 at launch being $120. Or what was the most recent thing, Diablo comes to mind because they did that with the
Yeah.
deluxe edition. The Assassin's Creed Shadows game. They have a sticker price on their deluxe edition of $110. And what did they ship with it? An empty box and access to the season pass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the
Are you still telling me that the game is worth $120?
I think what I take most offense to is the fact that people are telling me what something is worth, but I'm not seeing the worth, and yet they still believe that they deserve my money. I'm not handing my money over.
Right. The trend is that I don't think it's just a black and white issue. I think it's one, they're not giving you the game that you were promised for the price that you were given. Two, the attitude of game developers now are, I don't want to make that texture smaller. I don't want to make that level smaller. You need to get a better computer. Where I came from the school was, fuck you. You have parameters and you better make it look good, Chieftain.
Yeah.
That's what happened with literally the VR game I worked on was a downgrade from the original game that was in like Steam. They told Chieftain, you have the original game had 4K texture maps that you had to put the entire level on. You have one of these, one 256, 112, and 128 texture to light everything. And guess what I did? You know what the boss told me? How'd you make it look exactly like the game that was high quality? Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. That's why. The guy who created Words with Friends was my boss.
Wow.
Didn't know my name until I worked on that shit. He found me on LinkedIn with his contract and added me as a friend. That's how good I am.
Well,
now, if
Mojo
I
says-
can do it and I'm a card carrying fucking idiot that can't like change my own oil in my Jeep, if I'm able to fucking do that, there's literally no excuse for someone half my age that has twice my energy to fucking figure it out and make the quality in there in half the fucking time, because I did it. I finished my contract a month early, Hero, because I am that fucking good. Because my ADD brain doesn't slow the fuck down. I screwed myself out of $4,000.
Ouch.
So I learned Unity I learned the lighting thing. I learned the lighting setup in Unity in 2 hours and was producing work for them. There's literally no excuse for people that have multiple AAA titles under their belt to say the parameters. And I blame the senior guys for not pushing the junior guys and saying, this is your parameters. You're not allowed to go out of that parameter. Do the fucking job. Do your fucking job.
And I'm sorry, Mariner, I cut you
I'm
off.
sorry I went on a tangent, guys. I just can't stand game developers that are grossly incompetent at their job, that they can't like live within parameters. It just drives me crazy, Oni. I can't stand it.
Anyways,
so
what
it
you
gets
saying, Mariner?
yeah. So it
Sorry,
gets
Mariner,
worse.
go ahead.
It gets
worse.
Sorry, guys.
So-
I didn't mean to go on a tangent.
So the one advantage you get with Fallout 76 in this prospective how they're going to do this is that the updates for 76 are free. The additional content for Starfield, from what I understand, is not going to be free.
Of course not.
So what they gave us was the framework, like the first DLC. When I pre-ordered it, it included the first DLC. There was no such thing as a season pass that I saw, but the fact that they were including that for free means that it's going to cost people money. And if they're going to continue on this path where they're providing new content for the game every 6 to 8 months or 12 months or whatever their roadmap is, I don't know anything about the roadmap. The fact that they are, Boja's $7 for Starfield. That's the cost for the new quest. Oh, okay. So that's where I was going. I was going to say, it better, if they're going to do it and they want people to actually pay for it, they got to mark that stuff low, like $7 or $10 for an expansion, in my mind, is reasonable. It's the idea is good. The execution is what is going to determine whether or not they make it successful. And it's like they're fighting a uphill battle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think my concern is if it's another 76 or another
You mean like how how Final Fantasy VII is doing theirs? Where
yeah,
it's
I'm worried
one
about
chapter
that.
or one chapter of a 3-chapter thing, or however many chapters it is.
I don't love
The
that
first-
model, but I have enjoyed thoroughly the Final Fantasy VII remakes. I've enjoyed them thoroughly.
But are
I
they selling each chunk as a full price game, or is it like
It is. It's a full price game and it has a compelling 80 hours of gameplay in it. They like the second installment was definitely padded out with exploration goals and collectibles. However, the amount of questing and story and all that combined, I did get about 80 hours of gameplay out of it. But I will not lie, I felt satisfied with what I got. I again don't love the model, the structure that they've established with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
well no, because it's basically subscription based video game model.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yes, you pay an expensive cost for the outset of the game, but by the way, it's not actually done. We'll finish it on the back end. That's what was getting primed via Call of Duty and Battlefield years ago, and yet people were like, oh no, that's just the. I'm pretty sure people were saying, oh no, they aren't the rule. They're the exception. No, now it's the rule. It's the
yeah.
rule now, and yet gamers are gaslit into thinking that we're wrong. If I were to go to a store and I order, let's say I pick up a case of Baja Blast. Let's say it's 12 cans. I find out there's only 6. Do you know how fucking pissed I would be for having paid full price for half the shit I got? Very, very, because especially in this economy where I don't need to be drinking soda. But I bought the product with the intent to enjoy it, and I only got half of what I paid for. We got a problem. And yet these video game companies don't seem to be getting held to the same standard.
Right.
I take great issue with that. But no, we're wrong. We're wrong for calling them out. But yet they feel entitled to my money. Bitch, no one's fucking entitled to my money. No one tells me how to spend my fucking money. That is a bold fucking statement.
Give us some fucking money.
So the gall that especially Bethesda has.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Starfield for how fucking long? They were hyping it up, saying all this good shit. It comes out, people are kind of meh about it, which not really what you want to hear about a game about space. And
They
yet,
managed to with the original game, they did get almost 600 hours of play out of me for it.
well, yeah, but you're one dude, and you're like, no, I'm gonna get my money's worth. Like, I have to scour every fucking corner. I will.
Deep
Which
dive gaming, baby.
kudos to you.
I
But
will say
yet we're wrong.
my point though, what I was gonna get at is what I think they're gonna suffer from on this is the same possibly potentially the same problem with Cyberpunk, the same problem with what was that other game, No Man's Sky. Well, they didn't have as much of a problem. That was one independent developer building a whole fucking game and then delivering on all his promises.
And he learned a very difficult lesson, which was when you're working on a large project, get insurance for it. And if something goes wrong, be open about that. If he had been open and honest about, I didn't have insurance and things got caught under some water damage that I couldn't fix, so I'm behind schedule. People would have been a lot more forgiving.
Yeah,
But they fixed it. And again, indie developer, he learned a very tough lesson, but from what I've heard, it's very much worthwhile. And he was a solo dude learning a very hard lesson. These other companies that have
not
had
so much.
decades, and they're not the only ones in the corporate office who should know better, and they're just choosing to not do so. That I have a problem.
Yeah, well, my overarching point is with like Cyberpunk and numerous other games that launched incomplete and then delivered after the fact. What was it, Witcher 3? The mess that these games were. What I fear, well, not fear because I'm not invested in Starfield, but what I fear for you, Mariner, what I'm worried about is, or
What an idiot.
what I'm getting at is the problem's going to be is they launched this game, they went back and fixed problems, they lost a bunch of players from their player base over the course of this time, and they fixed everything, but now they got to wait for they got to lure people back, and they're dropping more content. How many people are going to care? How many people will come back and play it? How many people
That's the
are they
question.
going to lure back?
And that's the thing is I'm
Diminishing return.
I'm considering going back to playing Starfield here maybe before the DLC comes out, or I may just wait for the DLC to come out. I'm one of those who definitely invested in this game, doubly so if you know the story. So I'm seeing the improvements they're making to the game, and I'm like, that could actually be interesting. There are certain things that the game was definitely lacking that, from what I understand, they've listened to the fans about and they're making up for, like vehicles for traveling on planets to make that less of a chore. Because that was the biggest complaint. That was a big complaint in the game was you land your ship and you're walking for 2 to 5 minutes to get to a destination. It kind of counts as exploring because the way it worked was like, in order to get achievements, like or to unlock skills, you had to go, or to get cash money. Actually, no, there's all three of those things. There were raiding quests in the game where you had to find a certain geological feature on a planet. So you had to go to a star system, scan the planets, find the one that had the potential, or if you do what I did, go on the wiki, and find the planet, land, go to that site and get credit for discovering it, and then you can fast travel back to the ship from that point, but it could take 2 to 5 minutes to get to that destination if you didn't run. If you don't land on the right part of the planet, you may not see that geological feature to begin with, so you have to like suffer multiple load screens just to like hop across the planet's surface until you find it. So that was a major complaint in the game, and they are fixing that at some point in the future. I think it's probably going to be for the DLC, introducing a land vehicle that you can drive to cross the terrain faster. And yeah, that seems like something. I agree with Mojo. Minimal effort should have been part of the base game or made it unlockable. But I mean, it's the story as old as gaming, apparently, in the 21st century.
Stories long as time.
Even Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, you have to walk most of the game, but then you get to a certain point where you unlock the bicycle.
Yeah.
And then you can go so fucking fast, and then you're like, Nyum! And you blow your own mind. And then, of course, you try to put the bike in places it shouldn't be, and then Professor Oak goes, "You're not supposed to bring your bike outside or do this thing." Then you're like, "Don't tell me what to do." And then
you're not my real dad.
And then in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, you got running shoes. You got fucking running shoes and a bicycle, so you can walk.
Does he fall off the bicycle?
Bike. So it's like these fuckers are going so fast. Back in my day, we
Like
had to
Joe
wait to get
Biden.
a bicycle.
Back in my day.
And that was on a fucking Game Boy. Okay? Starfield didn't figure that one the fuck out. Like, there have, in most video games, especially today, if you can walk, there's usually some sort of option to run.
Ojo, when was Ojo? When was the new engine excuse used? Because I thought they used the same one as Fallout 4. So go ahead, Noni.
If there's an option to walk, there's usually an option to run or get some sort of other mode of transportation, or I don't know, fast travel. I'm just saying. I mean,
An
Dragon Age
advanced
Inquisition.
game that's about advanced space flight, and you don't have fast travel. What the?
Like let's
We
look
do
at
have fast travel,
Christianity.
but you didn't have fast travel to the undiscovered location.
No, you
Right.
don't.
You
You
can
have
fast
to
travel
unlock
back
that.
to your ship when you're done.
You have to unlock that. But here's the thing. We've had lunar rovers and landers for how long now?
Yeah.
They've been around for a minute.
Okay,
How long have we
I
had
have a counter
motorcycles?
to that argument. And it's a
Okay.
bad argument. It's a bad counter, but it's a counter. So the people, one of the YouTubers I watch has constant complaints about the weaponry of Fallout 4. Like there's whole like 45 minutes of videos where he's just complaining about the guns in Fallout 4. And in my head, the counter argument is these are gamers, they're not weapons experts. They clearly didn't hire any weapons experts to help with their gun designs. And same thing in Starfield, where they I said they didn't hire any, not that they couldn't hire any, they just didn't. And the same thing here. I think if they'd hired 1 or 2 people from NASA, they probably would have
The simplest counter argument to the counter argument I've ever seen.
I didn't say it was a good one, and I don't support that argument. I was just putting it out there.
They just didn't hire the people for it.
There's
Oh,
also
Lord.
Wikipedia. It's been around for a while.
You know what else is crazy? You could have looked for a YouTube video.
So I had to play devil's advocate
I
for a minute.
understand.
And it's fair.
I'm just saying though, that devil is dumb as fuck.
Well, I don't put those thoughts out there on the internet very often.
Well, but here's the thing. Someone was thinking it. We had to at least speak it, because it's like, before you go there, I'm going to tell you what you're about to say. You're going to confirm it, and now I'm about to disprove everything you said as complete horseshit. It's almost like libraries are free. It's almost like we have books that teach you shit. I'm not an expert at what does that bookshelf have. Let's say I'm not a herpetologist, okay? Not officially. I like reading and learning about reptiles, amphibians, and things like that. I'm not a herpetologist. Fun thing is, I can read about it. I can listen to videos about it. I'm not a botanist, but I can read about the plants. I'm not exactly a hairstylist, but I can read about it. I don't know about all the world's religions and the stories that tie humanity together. I can read about it. They even have these really cool books that have pictures and photos.
Okay, so yeah, so to dig myself out of this hole maybe a little bit,
Said
the idea
hole.
was to present
Me digging it deeper.
Yeah, well, the thing that what I think the point that I failed to make is that these guys were so what's the way I want to say this? They thought they knew what they were doing and proved that they don't. Because same thing with the guns. Like we'll design our own guns. We'll make it look cool. Well, it doesn't work. So, and then we'll design our space vehicles. They'll look cool. Yeah. They don't work.
Even Star Wars used real life inspiration. Even Ghibli uses inspiration from somewhere. Let's use the example of Nausicaa, the flying machines.
Oh my
They're
God.
futuristic, but they still look plausible in the world. Why? Because they either look like birds, they look like insects, they evoke something in us that gives us the feeling it could be possible. Okay? They may be fantastical, but they're still tied to something we recognize. Even if we may have a different idea, each one of us, of what that thing is, it gives us the feeling that it could be real. It's not just creating out of nothing. That's like saying AI creates. No, AI conglomerates things together. But even it has to have something to be pulling from. So for these creators to just act like the big I am and be so pompous as to ignore that, that blows my mind. If you really think you have arrived, then you need to retire. Because what are you doing here? If you don't think you can improve, why are you here?
Yep.
You know, wow, that is some pompous, self-important level of shit.
I
Wow.
wasn't supporting it. I'm just
I'm not saying you are, and I'm not. I don't mean to come across as denigrating you.
No, I just had to save myself.
How dare you?
That's a self-defense because, like,
How dare you?
everyone I've read about regarding Larian Studios, they'll say, "Look, we want to make a good game," but they're not saying, "Oh, we're the best at what we do." It's no, we want to bring the great stuff to the next game and learn from mistakes of the previous game and do this, that, and the other. But we know what works, and it's called listening to the fans, listening to the gamers, the people who are actually paying to play this game. They paid. They should have a good experience with this game. That's what they paid for. It blows my fucking mind. And Bethesda, you've been reformatting Skyrim for a decade and a half now. Come on.
We're pushing 20 years almost.
Yeah. If you keep getting pissed off that people keep begging for Elder Scrolls 6,
Maybe
bitch,
just give us.
look in the mirror. Get it done. Get it the fuck done. There was a movie.
Get shit on!
There was a movie that took like 50 fucking years to make. It was an animated movie. I think it was like
You talking about the Ray Harryhausen stop motion?
not stop motion.
Okay.
It was an animated film, and it something like the Pauper. It wasn't the Prince and the Pauper, I don't think. It was so weird because every studio kept like shuffling it off and doing this, that, and the other with the animation and the story, and it wound up just being shit. Because it at some point, like, yes, things really need to kind of simmer and come together, but there's a difference between coming together and melding and really blending it, and now you're just wasting your time. You've overworked it. This is that time. Okay, don't get angry at the fans for asking for something that you announced so many fucking years ago. You did that. That's you.
Skyrim grandma is still waiting.
Yeah. Dude.
Right.
Yo. They better fucking give her that game while she's alive.
Is she still alive?
Oh yeah, she's still active. But I mean, she's in her 80s.
Well, she got like good 20 years left. I mean,
well, she's had a stroke.
Oof.
Okay. She had a stroke, I think, about a year or two ago. And the thing is that, though, she was already video game before then. But video games were definitely helping keep up with her physical therapy, which is excellent. So remember, folks, dexterity, very important. Keep up with your video gaming, yes. But if I find out she never got to play Elder Scrolls 6 before she leaves this mortal coil, I will start a petition to send myself to Bethesda so I can personally speak to whomever is responsible for fucking her over. And take her.
That'd probably
take
be
them
Todd
to
Howard.
her. I will make them go to her funeral and go like, "You did this. This is your fault. How dare you?" I'm being very facetious, but like, it's like it was like a Dragon Age: The Veilguard. If you're not ready
Stupid
to announce
name.
if you're not ready to announce it for that long, don't fucking announce it. There's a difference between announcing a game because they're about ready to drop it, like Nintendo, or we're announcing a game because it's going to be in the works for a while, but we wanted to get the hype up. We need to stop using that model because, especially with the day of social media, there's no reason to be doing that anymore. There really isn't.
You know what? You know how to hype a game? Put out the game.
Complete, by the way, playable. Why is it so difficult? Why is it so wrong to want a product to work as intended? That is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. If I were buying allergy medicine and it wasn't working, why the fuck am I wasting time buying allergy medicine? Stupid.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta do a thing.
Okay.
Oh shoot.
So hopefully we can keep this topic going until you get back.
Hopefully. But I don't know if there's another topic after this.
We can make one. We can make one. But anyways, one final point on this topic. I look forward to seeing what the modders do. And I'm kind of hoping that the modders show up Bethesda. Because look at what gold has come from the modding community for, I've heard Skyrim, but Fallout 4.
Skyrim. And
yeah,
Fallout 4.
But Fallout 4, Sim Settlements 2, America Rising, Fallout London, the remakes for Fallout 1 and 2. The modders are doing a lot of good work on these games that people love. And based on like the weak tea that was the story for Starfield, I'm waiting for the modders to come out. Like once modding support gets put out for this game, if they ever do it, I imagine we're gonna have so much. And I hate to say it because the modders are gonna literally be saving Starfield, and I don't want that. I would prefer that not to have not been needed, but because it is needed, the modders, once they get their hands on Bethesda and Starfield and can really do some work, oh man, people are going to be treating the original story of Starfield like they do Preston Garvey.
Oh wow, that's a statement. The only thing I can say to that is like the biggest modders. Well, I don't want to say biggest because I don't know if they're the biggest, but they were definitely touted as a big name in the modding community for Bethesda games. Those guys already noped out. They already said,
yeah, that's what Mojo's talking about in the chat. Is like there was someone in the modding community, or there was an article covering the big modders' response to it was like, in fact, not that they were claiming that they were gonna they didn't want to fix Bethesda's broken game, but that they couldn't because the engine was that broken.
Okay, I remember this because we did report on it. It was not long after you had been playing it for an extended period of time. We actually came out and talked about that article, and not me saying this, but they straight up said, fuck this. I don't want to fix this pile of shit. It was that vulgar of a statement.
Yeah. There are modders though who will take up the mantle or the baton,
I'm sure.
because
I'm sure it will
there are
happen.
those who like the challenge.
So they're masochists.
More or less.
I mean, look, I try not to kink shame unless that's your thing. But if you're
Call
not
me a
getting
piece of shit
paid,
and punch me in the face.
if you're not getting paid to polish someone else's turd, and they keep turning their nose up at you as if they're better than you, don't keep denigrating yourself for that. You deserve so much better. You know, why not Bethesda just have like discounted games that are intriguing enough, but you just kind of like let the modders go have fun. It's like, hey Marines, we got you this bazooka tank. Have fun. Do whatever you want with it within the Geneva Conventions.
Do whatever you want with it.
Bye.
Never say that to a Marine.
Just do that, and then the community can just kind of play the games. They're not paying full price because they're not buying a full price game. They're buying the game that's being augmented by mods that they can pick and choose and break their own game. But then Bethesda would save face, because then it's like, we rely on the modders. Modders are what's making it great. We release, games that are unpolished, but they're functional, with the intent of not marketing them as full price games. They are not meant to be full price. They are not meant to be fully idealized. They are meant for the modders to just kind of go off and have fun and make it their own without paying an arm and a leg and without getting sued. Like, I
Sounds
feel
like
they would
Unreal
have
Engine
so
to
much
me.
better of a time.
Yeah, sounds like Unreal Engine the game.
Yeah, pretty much. That would be pretty cool though. But that would
Gary's mod.
Hashtag Starship Simulator.
RIP.
Why RIP? That game is well under development.
I mean Gary's mod. Pretty sure Gary's mod got like sued.
I think they did.
Okay.
I think they closed it down recently.
Because all the stuff that the shenanigans people would get up to with that game were so many.
I defer back to your previous statement about a bazooka tank in the Marines.
That's not a joke though. That happened.
I know.
Technically, they were recoilless rifles, but they basically were bazookas. It was called the Ontos, also called the Thing, in Vietnam. And in order to bring each one to sights, they each had a 50 cal sniper rifle as the sighting in rifle. So you had 5 recoilless rifles with 5 sniper rifles to, fine tune the aim on a tank, because fuck you, that's why. And by the way, they never made actual official combat manuals for these. There was never a real MOS for these. They just it was showcased to the Army and the Marine Corps. The Army, for some reason, said no thanks. Oh wait, no, it was because the folks at the training grounds were like, just shoot all of them at once. We just want to see what would happen. And all the cars in the parking lot had all their windows were broken from the shockwave that happened.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And the Army was like, no thanks. No. And the Marines were like, I'll take 300. It devolved from there. If you want more information, look up the Fat Electrician, The Thing. It was, the Marines got involved and there were recoilless rifle tanks. Okay, this shit got crazy, but it worked.
Hey,
Ezra.
Boy, Ezra.
Welcome back, Ezra.
Welcome back.
So yeah, just imagine if like World of Tanks brought that. If World of Tanks doesn't have The Thing in it yet, they should probably get on that. Imagine bringing that into Call of Duty.
Buongiorno. Molto bene.
Yeah, that was my topic. My insert topic here topic.
And the custom topic.
Modded topic, if you will.
I think
My shit's custom.
you. I think
My shit's always custom.
I don't care. I do think that we can close out on that note unless somebody else has a another hot topic.
Hot topic?
I remember when they still sold trip pants.
Dick-shaped pasta.
All kinds of things.
Crazy. It is all crazy. Are you saying that we are done?
We can be.
Oh my goodness gracious, that is a short. Oh fuck, it's 2300. I'm like, yeah, we don't do 8-hour shows. It's not cost effective to do a 4-hour show. It's not cost effective to do a 15-minute show.
Before we log out, though,
Yeah.
we wanted to make this is sort of a last minute announcement. So we've got a little something special for later this month. I think it's set for 2 weeks from now. Let me
I think so.
Looking for a calendar, I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, 3 weeks from now. So on the 26th, we would like to have a special episode. Coming up on 10 years without Robin Williams. But instead of focusing on, the years without him, we'd like to celebrate the years that we did have with him. So it's his birthday month, and we would like to do a fun episode to celebrate his life and the legacy he left behind. In a way, in all of us. So please be on the lookout for that. If you're really interested, please tune in. If you're not, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But we're planning on doing something a little bit different because all of us were impacted by Robin Williams in a big way, and we want to keep his memory alive in a positive way. So wanted to let you know that now because
the genie,
it's probably going to start getting a little out of hand because it was Robin Williams.
That was the name of his game.
Yeah, pretty much. But
one of his great monologues was, "I'm the American flag." Just look it up. It's such a great monologue. He did it in the 70s. He's like, "I am the American flag. I have 13 stars and 13 stripes."
I remember hearing that. It was actually
so great.
Sweet.
I went to a bit of a facelift, and now I had 48. He does this whole thing. It's so great. I think he made it up all, and it sounded like it was all made up.
All
improv. But all improvisational. Right. He was actually on Whose Line Is It Anyway? One time.
Oh yeah, it got out of hand on that one too.
He fucking destroyed on that shit. How do you keep up with a guy like that?
And you know what? Those guys all on Whose Line, they were all pretty dang good at what they did.
Oh, right. Colin Mockery was the best, though.
Who?
Colin Mockery.
Colin, I
they
think
they all had their they all had their talents. Like Wayne Brady was good at the improv music or musical numbers.
Right.
I
think Colin was on the Drew Carey show too.
Yeah,
I think it's the same guy.
I think that Colin and Ryan both followed Drew Carey over from the Drew Carey show. But Colin was great at maintaining the straight face and giving some great one-liners.
Yeah, it was really good.
He was the one who would break up the other guys. Rarely would they break him up, but he would break them up a lot.
They'd lose their shit. It was funny. The prop stuff was so good too. I have that algorithm on my Instagram. I just get stuck on there. I saw Robin Williams on there, and he was just they couldn't even keep up with him. He was so fast.
Jumping from shtick to shtick.
Yeah.
So we'll
hope Zelda comes on. Yeah, definitely.
On that for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So bring your best memories of Robin Williams because we are going to have a very mixed variety show in honor of Robin Williams.
Right. The Robin Williams special.
Mm-hmm.
And then Soda's gonna be back for that too, so Soda's coming back. So I'm looking for the music. There it is. On behalf of the Mariner, Blacklight Oni,
Someone's happy to be raised.
and Astarion. He eats popcorn from the bottom up. Please. Hero.
I don't even know what to say to that.
When you split the popcorn, your part's on the bottom. All right, maybe not. I'm Chieftain. We're Lagging Out Live. And we're signing off and Lagging Out. See you next week. Bye.